Douluo Dalu. Life or Death Pact. It begins with a forced kiss to Qian Renxue. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyright or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 626. Chu Ye merges with his second martial soul and his power increases dramatically. Chu Ye responded with, okay, then he continued on his way. When they reached the core area, it was easier to find that 50,000-year-old ice jade scorpion soul beast. Qian Renxue's silkworm used its powerful mental power to lead Chu Ye at a search, while avoiding the powerful soul beasts that might be encountered on the way. In this way, they entered a huge ice cave, which led to the other side. Qian Renxue's silkworm intended to let Chu Ye pass through here, and in this kind of place, you can actually encounter soul beasts such as ice jade scorpion. Slippery. Chu Ye wore his homemade soul guide skates and quickly passed through this huge ice cave, but neither he nor Qian Renxue's silkworm discovered that the ice cave was hiding a 100,000-year-old ice jade scorpion that had been sleeping and was about to wake up. When Chu Ye passed by, the 100,000-year-old ice jade scorpion noticed Chu Ye. It happened to be hungry and wanted to eat. Chu Ye became the prey it wanted to eat after waking up. Boom. At that moment, the 100,000-year-old ice jade scorpion quickly drilled out of the ice ground. The ground behind Chu Ye broke apart quickly, and a large scorpion emerged from the ice. Roar. The ice jade scorpion roared and chased Chu Ye. Not good. It's a nice jade scorpion that has cultivated to 100,000 years. Chu Ye, it is undoubtedly the most suitable to be your second martial spirit, but this level of existence is no longer something I can handle. Let's go. Qian Renxue's silkworm said anxiously. Got it, brother Qian Renxue. Chu Ye desperately fled. Roar. The 100,000-year-old ice jade scorpion chased Chu Ye madly, and it seemed that it had no intention of letting Chu Ye go, and chased him wildly behind. It's over. Brother Qian Renxue. This ice jade scorpion doesn't seem to be planning to let me go. It should have just woken up and is hungry. It's bad. It will definitely not stop until it eats you. What should I do, brother Qian Renxue? Don't worry, let me think of a way. Qian Renxue also looked anxious, and it can be seen that it has no way to deal with this 100,000-year-old ice jade scorpion for the time being. It's over, brother Qian Renxue. It's about to catch up with me. Chu Ye looked flustered. I'm going to take action. Give me the control of your body. Qian Renxue's silkworm had no choice but to forcefully possess him. But at this moment, a terrifying dark aura emanated from Chu Ye's body again. Big bug, you can't handle this scorpion, let me take action. At this time, an old and heavy voice suddenly sounded. Chu Ye now heard the voice of Electrolux. This was the first time he discovered that there was another force in his body. Who are you? Chu Ye asked. I should be called Electrolux. As for who I am, I don't know either. Chu Ye? Question mark. Electrolux said. Anyway, my consciousness is damaged and I have to take possession of your body. Don't worry, I won't hurt you, and I won't let you die in the hands of this scorpion. Leave it to me. Electrolux took action. Intending to temporarily control Chu Ye's body, Chu Ye and Qian Renxue's silkworm hesitated for a moment and stopped resisting. Now it seems that only Electrolux can do it. Chu Ye's consciousness seemed to weaken. The next second, Electrolux's consciousness rushed in and temporarily controlled Chu Ye's body. A terrifying black aura emanated around Chu Ye's body. At this moment, Chu Ye's entire temperament changed, and his eyes became extremely cold. Roar. The ice jade scorpion was stunned. It couldn't understand why the human aura in front of it suddenly became so terrifying. That look was like the arrival of the god of death, which made it feel terrified. Here. Electrolux controlled Chu Ye's body and forced himself to fight with the 100,000-year-old ice jade scorpion. The terrifying power was released from Chu Ye's body and directly hit the soul of the ice jade scorpion. Bang. Boom boom boom. Hey. Don't kill it, you guy. I still need it to become Chu Ye's second martial soul. Qian Renxue's silkworm said. Really? Electrolux saw this and kept a trick. Qian Renxue's silkworm quickly took action. With the joint efforts of it and Electrolux, it finally forced the 100,000-year-old ice jade scorpion to merge with Chu Ye. Yue Dao, hurry up. Absorb its power, I will help you merge with it. Okay. Yue Dao's body seemed to be surrounded by ice, with Qian Renxue's silkworm assisting him. He began to absorb the power of the ice jade scorpion frantically, making it his second martial soul, while absorbing the power of this 100,000-year spirit ring. After a long time, Yue Dao's aura began to soar wildly. Brother Qian Renxue. I succeeded. Yue Dao said with great surprise. Qian Renxue was also relieved. This time, thanks to the mysterious Alex in your body, otherwise we might have died in the hands of the ice jade scorpion. Now it's good, you have obtained the second martial soul of the 100,000-year ice jade scorpion, a circle of 100,000-year spirit rings, and a 100,000-year ice jade scorpion trunk bone. Xiao Yue Dao, your strength is now much stronger than before, you can feel it yourself. Qian Renxue's silkworm nodded with satisfaction. Now Yue Dao finally has a strong fighting ability. Yue Dao was very excited to feel the power in his body. This time, it obtained a second martial soul, the top beast martial soul, the ice jade scorpion, which gave the ice jade scorpion martial soul its first soul ring, which was at the 100,000-year level, and controlled two 100,000-year first soul skills. The first soul skill of the ice jade scorpion martial soul, skill 1. Ice Scorpion Arm, turns both hands and forearms into scorpion hands, which are extremely hard and can cause huge damage in close combat with extremely strong attack power. Skill 2. Ice Scorpion Bodyguard, a defensive soul skill, which covers the surface of the body with a layer of ice crystals for defensor, with extremely high defensor power. There is also a 100,000-year Ice Jade Scorpion Trunk Bone skill, Ice Scorpion Roar, a strong attack soul skill. This type of Ice Jade Scorpion has not yet awakened its domain, so Yue Dao has not obtained the domain and domain skills. This wave Yue Dao directly possessed three 100,000-year level skills. There is also that first soul ring given by the Qian Renxue silkworm, which has 4 skills. Yue Dao's 2 martial souls are now both 1 ring, plus a soul bone skill, so he has 7 skills. In addition to the first learning Yue Dao had from Shu Han, he had learned combat skills and consciousness. Now with this powerful strength, Yue Dao had undergone a radical change from his previous strength. He had completely transformed. When he returns to the Spirit Hall Academy again, Yue Dao will surely make a big splash and shock the entire outer courtyard. Damn my silkworm. What despicable means did you use to make me become the spirit of this human and turn my soul into a part of him? The Ice Scorpion, who was being forcibly done, was angry and unwilling. Chapter 627 Yi Gai. Shu Han, remember this kiss? Yes, this Ice Jade Scorpion has now become a Yue Dao's Wisdom Soul Ring, or soul. Hey, little Ice Jade Scorpion, you are lucky to be Yue Dao's Wisdom Soul Ring. In the future, when Yue Dao cultivates and becomes one, you can also ascend to the God realm with him, and transform from an eternal existence into a god, understand? Qian Renxue's silkworm said. God. Ascend to the God realm? Can this human being do it? The Ice Jade Scorpion looked doubtful, but if it could really become one, it would actually accept it. The former emperor of their Ice Scorpion clan, the Ice Jade Emperor Scorpion Ice Emperor, became a human soul and finally went to the God realm together. Whether you can do it or not, you have to assist him with all your strength now. If he dies, you'll die too. If he becomes a god, you will become a god too. You can also see your former king, Ice Emperor, in the God realm. Lord King Ice Emperor. The Ice Jade Scorpion instantly looked forward to it. In fact, when Ice Emperor became Chu Ye's soul, it was just an Ice Jade Scorpion with a cultivation of only about 50,000 years. She was also a little fan of Ice Emperor and admired him very much. Almost regarded Ice Emperor as his idol to follow for life. Yue Dao smiled and said, Ice Jade Scorpion, no matter what, we're one now, I hope we can live in peace. Okay. Ice Jade Scorpion had no choice but to compromise. Now I have Brother Qian Renxue, Ice Jade Scorpion, and the mysterious Alex in my spiritual sea of consciousness. If I add one more, I can have a full Mahjong game. Yue Dao shook his head and smiled. Yue Dao, now you have obtained the second martial soul, but your first martial soul still has the second soul ring that you haven't obtained yet. Let's go. Brother will find you the second soul ring. Yes. Yue Dao continued to set off and began to look for the second soul ring of the Spirit Eyes martial soul. After many days, Yue Dao encountered a 1,000-year-old ice silkworm soul beast, which was of the same race as the Qian Renxue silkworm, and finally succeeded in killing it. He obtained the soul ring of this ice silkworm soul beast and made it the second soul ring of the spirit eyes martial soul. This ice silkworm gave the spirit eyes martial soul a second soul skill, simulation. At this point, Liu Yao's journey to the far north ended, and he began to leave the core area quickly. After many days of travel, he finally left the land of the far north. He stopped at the edge of the far north and looked back. Goodbye, far north. Then he set off to return to the Wuhan Palace Academy in Wuhan City. When he left the far north, Liu Yao's soul power had already reached level 26. On the other side, Xu Han and Yi Gai's journey to the Sun Moon Empire was also coming to an end. They had arrived at the last stop, Sun Moon City. Is this Sun Moon City? The technology of soul guides has been fully integrated into every corner of this city. Xu Han walked on the street. He could clearly feel the difference between Sun Moon City and Wuhan City. The degree of development of soul guide technology seemed to be no longer at the same level. The two walked on the street and looked at the scene along the way. At this time, a group of students from the Royal Academy of the Sun Moon Empire suddenly came to the corner of the street in front. And the 100,000-year-old deep-sea demon whale, the transformed Lanfozi, was among them. Xu Han didn't notice it at first, but just when the two were about to pass by, he suddenly frowned and stopped. Xu Han's eyes not only looked at Lanfozi and the Royal Academy. Lanfozi noticed Xu Han's strange look, and she also stopped and looked at Xu Han. The two exchanged glances. Lanfozi didn't know that Xu Han was the son of Chu Ye, she just felt that this boy seemed unusual. Why does this woman have a familiar feeling on her body? That kind of breath is like one of my father's gods. Xu Han thought to himself, thinking of the deep-sea demon whale king, one of Chu Ye's gods. He then retracted his gaze, without paying too much attention, and without being suspicious, he walked away with Yi Gai. But Lanfozi silently looked at Xu Han's back as he left. For some reason, he felt that this boy seemed to have some kind of fate between her and him. Am I overthinking it? Lanfozi shook her head and turned to leave. The two just passed by, but both remembered each other's faces deeply. Soon, Xu Han and Yi Gai's journey finally came to an end. The two took the Sun Moon Empire train directly back to the city where the Ordinary Alliance was located. The happy time ended, and when it was time to say goodbye, it often became sad and upset. At this moment, the two sat in the seats of the train in a depressed mood, without talking or communicating. The journey of more than 10 days has allowed them to understand each other and get familiar with each other. Yi Gai is also more certain that he has fallen in love with Xu Han. And Xu Han's affection for Yi Gai has become deeper and deeper. We're here. Really? Well, let's get off the train. The train arrived at the station, and the two got off the train together and walked to a green lawn. At this moment, there were only the two of them. At this moment, both of them suddenly called each other's name. Yi Gai. Xu Han. The two looked at each other affectionately, and said at the same time in tacit understanding, you say it first. Yi Gai said seriously, Xu Han, can we meet again? Of course, we will meet if we are destined to, and I believe that you and I have this fate. Xu Han responded very seriously. One will not leave the Ordinary League for the time being, and the other will not leave the Spirit Hall Academy for the time being, so the two are destined to separate, but they have long known in their hearts that they have each other in their hearts. The relationship between them has long surpassed the feeling between ordinary friends and partners, and has a feeling between lovers. But neither side has managed to break through the layer of veil. Okay, I should go, Yi Gai. Xu Han looked at Yi Gai with a complicated heart, and left decisively without being hypocritical. Looking at Xu Han's back as he left, at this moment, Yi Gai suddenly ran towards Xu Han. Xu Han. Yi Gai's figure came from behind him. Xu Han stopped and just turned around. Yi Gai had already thrown himself into Xu Han's arms, then stood on tiptoes and kissed Xu Han gently on the lips. Yi Gai, you. Xu Han was stunned in place, still savoring the kiss. Xu Han, remember this kiss, I will definitely find you in the future. After saying that, Yi Gai turned and ran away. Yi Gai Xu Han stretched out his hand, with the urge to chase after him. But he finally stayed where he was and didn't chase her. He silently watched her leave his sight. He sighed in his heart. If you and I meet again, then, I will definitely hold your hand with all my strength and never let you disappear from my sight again. Xu Han secretly decided, turned around and set out on the road back to Wuhan City alone. Many days later. At about the same time, Xu Han and Liu Yao both returned to the Wuhan Hall Academy. Chapter 628 Returning to the Spirit Hall Academy, The trio reunites. At this moment, Liu Yao was walking in the academy to his dormitory, but on the way he happened to meet his enemy Oabin. Seeing that Chu Han was not beside Liu Yao, Oabin took the initiative to come over and provoke him. Hey, isn't this Liu Yao, the abandoned son of my family? You, a waste, have also returned to the academy. How did you cultivate to what level? You only have 1.5 years left before you surpass me, and I have already cultivated to level 36. Liu Yao, what can you do to surpass me? Ha 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 ha. Oabin, please get out of the way. I don't have time for you to argue with me now. Liu Yao said coldly. Although he was not sure that he could win, he was not afraid of Oabin. Hehe, Chu Han is no longer Liu Yao, you dare to talk to me so arrogantly, who do you think you are? Liu Yao, you are dreaming if you want to surpass me in 2.5 years. When the time comes, I will see how I will beat the shit out of you. Oabin mocked with disdain. Liu Yao smiled confidently and said, I found that I was conservative when I said I would surpass you in 2.5 years. Maybe I can do it in 2 years. You are so arrogant. Ha ha ha. I am dying of laughter. Okay, you are so confident, right? Okay. Let me see how much you have improved during this period. Roar. Oabin released his martial spirit and attacked him without saying anything. His face was very fierce. Liu Yao was not afraid at all and stood still calmly. At this time, Chu Han's voice suddenly came from behind. Liu Yao, step back. Liu Yao was very surprised to see Chu Han appear behind him, but he did not intend to move away. He also said with a confident look, Chu Han, it's okay, I can handle it. Oh? Chu Han was stunned and stopped preparing to block Liu Yao's attack. Looking for death. At this time, Oabin had already swept with a domineering punch. Bang. Liu Yao punched out instantly and blocked Oabin's fist with one punch, and knocked Oabin back several meters. What? How is this possible? Oabin was shocked. He couldn't believe that Liu Yao could block his punch and even knock him back with one punch. This made Oabin look extremely ugly and shocked. Oh? It's possible. Chu Han was also surprised. He looked at his good friend with interest. Liu Yao, this guy, seems to have changed. Damn it. It seems. You have indeed grown up. But you are still not my opponent. Oabin was dissatisfied. This time he burst out with all his strength and attacked fiercely. Take another punch from me. But at this moment, the teacher's voice came from a distance. What are you doing? Stop it. Seeing that the teacher from the academy had come, Oabin had to stop attacking. He gritted his teeth with an unhappy look on his face. TSK, Liu Yao, wait for me. After that, Oabin left coldly. At this moment, Chu Han had come to Liu Yao's side and patted him on the shoulder. Not bad. Liu Yao, it seems that you have changed a lot in this month. Tell me what happened honestly to make you grow so fast. Liu Yao knew that he could not hide the matter of his second martial soul, the Ice Jade Scorpion, and it would be known sooner or later. He had also thought of a perfect set of rhetoric. So, Liu Yao used this set of rhetoric to roughly tell Chu Han what happened to him, as well as his current strength and changes. What, you actually got a second martial soul? And it's the top ice attribute Ice Jade Scorpion. Chu Han couldn't help but exclaimed when he heard it. This luck is too good. With twin martial souls, the soul power soared to level 26, and the second ring of the spirit eye is still at the millennium level. You know, more than a year ago, when Chu Han met Liu Yao, he was still a very weak level 10 soul warrior. But more than a year later, Liu Yao is now a level 26 great soul master. This change and growth is too amazing. And the luck seems to be unmatched by ordinary people. If Chu Han had known Liu Yao, he would have undoubtedly met the two conditions of the Son of Destiny, amazing cultivation talent, and excellent destiny. Chu Han even had a flash of doubt about Liu Yao, wondering if Liu Yao was the Son of Destiny his father had mentioned. No, it's unlikely. Chu Han thought about it carefully, but still shook his head and denied this idea. Oh, that's probably how it happened. Liu Yao said awkwardly. Well, Liu Yao, you are really lucky. Not bad, you have completely transformed after the holiday. Not only is your strength much stronger, but your soul power is finally no longer the bottom one in the same grade. Now it's basically a done deal for you to enter the inner courtyard. Chu Han smiled and patted Liu Yao's shoulder, feeling happy and relieved for him. Although the champion of the freshman assessment was awarded the qualification of the inner courtyard, Liu Yao might not be able to enter the inner courtyard at the time. Now it's just a matter of time. Shu Han, my goal is not just to join the inner courtyard. I want to try the core courtyard. To become a core student of the Spirit Hall. Liu Yao expressed his ambition strongly. The core courtyard. Although Shu Han had not seen many students of the core courtyard, he heard that there were less than 30 students in the core courtyard. It was said that each core student had broken through to the Soul King realm at the age of 18 or 19. There were even some who reached the Soul Empire realm at the age of 18, not to mention that they were all excellent in other aspects. Almost every core student hit something extraordinary. This could be felt when Shu Han challenged the inner courtyard students. The core students must be stronger than him in terms of spirit strength, compatibility, and spirit control. As the two were communicating, a girl's voice came from a distance. Shu Han. Liu Yao. The two turned their heads and smiled at the same time. Xiao Xiao. Xiao Xiao quickly ran to the two people's faces, panted twice, and said happily, "It's been a month since we last met." "Did you two miss me?" Xiao Xiao said, subconsciously glancing at Shu Han, her face slightly flushed. "Of course, Xiao Xiao," Liu Yao said with a smile. Shu Han walked to Xiao Xiao's side, stretched out his palm and pressed it on Xiao Xiao's head, measuring his height and said, "Sure enough, Xiao Xiao, you seem to have grown a little taller." Xiao Xiao pouted and said very cutely, "Ha, I'm still growing. Ha ha. The entrance examination will be in 3 days. Are you too confident?" "Of course." The three of them talked and laughed. "Let's go, we're going to the academy." Yeah. The trio gathered again and returned to the life of the academy. Next, Liu Yao had only 2 goals. One was to surpass Wabin, and 2, to went to the inner courtyard to practice. Chapter 629. Liu Yao's complete transformation. Letter from Yigai. He began to continue to practice madly towards this direction and goal. 3 days later, the second-year entrance examination began. Shu Han and Xiao Xiao were not surprised in the eyes of everyone, and they were successfully promoted to the 2nd grade. Only Liu Yao and other students were waiting to see the joke and expressed doubts. They wanted to see whether Liu Yao, one of the members of the champion team of the freshman assessment at the time, would be eliminated and unable to be promoted to the 2nd grade. After all, in their opinion, Liu Yao was just a wandering white spirit master. But as Liu Yao took the test, all those who wanted to make fun of Liu Yao and wanted to see him fail and be eliminated were slapped in the face. Liu Yao made a stunning debut, and instantly shocked all the students of the same grade, including the teacher. Shocked the whole audience. Fuck. Oh my god. Level 26 spirit power, and twin spirits. How is this possible? Wasn't Liu Yao only level 16 or 17 during the freshman assessment? Now, his spirit power has reached level 26. Oh my god. How did he cultivate? What happened to him in the past month? How could he grow so amazingly? The whole audience exclaimed in shock. Liu Yao's growth was too amazing for all the students. Wabin also looked a little ugly and surprised. But in fact, the most surprised and shocked were the students in the same class as Liu Yao, because they knew very well that Liu Yao's spirit power was only level 12 when he first entered school. In other words, Liu Yao improved his spirit power by 14 levels in 1 semester. If things go well, Liu Yao can really surpass Wabin in 2.5 years. The students in Class 1 thought to themselves. There is no doubt that Liu Yao finally successfully entered the 2nd grade and showed a power that amazed the whole audience. Although Liu Yao's soul power level is not outstanding among the students of the same grade, it has surpassed the soul power level of more than half of the students. His strength gives people the feeling that he has already stood among the best students of the same grade. So far, Shu Han, Xiao Xiao, and Liu Yao have all successfully become 2nd-year students of the Spirit Hall Academy and continue their training career in the academy. But as Shu Han's roommate who sleeps in the same dormitory every day, Liu Yao can feel that Shu Han seems to be a little different after returning from vacation. In the past, Shu Han gave Liu Yao the feeling that apart from training, fighting, challenging, and becoming stronger, there seemed to be nothing else in his mind, and he would not be tied down by other things. But now, Liu Yao can clearly feel that Shu Han has more thoughts. Sometimes he looks at the distance inexplicably, in a daze, and sometimes his eyes seem to be missing someone, but Liu Yao did not make too many guesses. On this day, Liu Yao and Shu Han were both resting in the dormitory. Suddenly there was a knock on the door. It was the college's messenger. He knocked on the door and said, "Student Shu Han, you have a letter from the Sun Moon Empire. Please sign for it." A letter from the Sun Moon Empire. Shu Han and Yue both struggled. Whether it was Shu Han or Yue, it could be said that they had no family in this mortal world, so they had never received any envelopes, and it was impossible for anyone to send them letters. But Shu Han immediately thought of Yigai, and there was only Yigai on the Sun Moon Empire side. But Yue was confused. Shu Han's life experience has always been a mystery to Yue. Shu Han has never talked about his background, and he seems to be a little sensitive about this topic, so Yue has never had an in-depth discussion. Sun Moon Empire. Is it Shu Han's family? Or something else? Yue guessed in his heart. But Yue saw that Shu Han's face suddenly filled with a smile, and then he ran to the door with a little excitement, opened the door and took the envelope. Yue was stunned. Could it be? Impossible. Impossible. It is indeed a letter from Yigai. Shu Han smiled and silently looked at the envelope in his hand. At this time, Yue had quietly come behind Shu Han. Hey, Shu Han, what's the situation? Oh, nothing, a friend. Shu Han quickly put away the letter and smiled awkwardly. Friend. Shu Han, a girl, right? Yue said. Yeah, right. Shu Han replied vaguely, then found an excuse to go out first, and then found a place to open the envelope alone. On the envelope was probably Yigai sharing what he found interesting in his daily life. Shu Han smiled faintly after reading it, and also wrote a letter in reply, and sent it to the Ordinary League. The two are separated by 2 places, across 2 empires, one in the Wihun Empire and the other in the Sunday and Moon Empire, and kept in touch through communication through letters. As soon as Shu Han's letter arrived, Yigai couldn't wait to open it and read it. Seeing the handwriting on Shu Han's letter, and the content was very plain, without a trace of love, Yigai was very happy. She immediately wrote another letter and sent it to Shu Han. The two began to communicate through envelopes in a long-distance manner. For 4 months, the exchange of envelopes between them never stopped. Yue even woke up in the middle of the night and saw Shu Han sitting there secretly writing letters. He couldn't help but smile. It seems that Shu Han has a girl he likes, and she is from the Sunday and Moon Empire. Did you meet her during the holiday month? What kind of girl can be favored by Shu Han? I'm really curious. Yue was very curious in his heart. He didn't disturb her and continued to sleep. It was also in this month that Shu Han's soul power finally broke through to level 40, officially entering the ranks of soul lords. My soul power has finally broken through level 40. It's time to absorb the 4th soul ring. Shu Han slowly opened his eyes, stood up and went to find Zhao Ye, asking Zhao Ye to take him to the hunting ground of the Spirit Hall to get the soul ring. Shu Han won the 1st place in the freshman assessment, and the 1st place reward includes a best soul ring. Students only need to report to the class teacher to go to the hunting ground of the Spirit Hall to get soul rings. In the hunting ground of the Spirit Hall, there are almost all kinds of soul beasts, ranging from hundreds to 10,000 years old. Shu Han, come with me. Yes. Shu Han nodded lightly and followed Zhao Ye to the hunting ground. Zhao Ye recommended many soul beasts suitable for his magic sword martial soul to Shu Han, including the target Shu Han wanted. Zhao Ye thought for a while and said, with your conditions, a 4th soul ring of about 8,000 years should be no problem. I will ask them to find you an 8,000-year-old one. Teacher Zhao Ye, 8,000 years is too low. I want 20,000 years. Shu Han shook his head and said. Zhao Ye didn't know that Shu Han's 3rd soul ring was 9,000 years old. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novel, as there you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 630, Absorbing the 4th Soul Ring and Encountering the Spirit Hall's Young Master Qian Renxue. What? 20,000 years. Zhao Ye was shocked when she heard it, frowned and persuaded. Shu Han, no, 20,000 years is too high, it is too dangerous for you. Shu Han, I know you are very confident, and you have strong strength and combat ability. You have the capital to be confident, but the 4th soul ring absorbs 10,000 years. Even those top geniuses in our Wihun Hall core members, very few people can absorb 10,000 years at the 4th soul ring. And those very few people who can absorb 10,000 years are also because they have powerful beast martial spirits. Beast martial spirits are stronger and can withstand higher limits. You are just an instrument martial spirit. 10,000 years is too risky, let alone 20,000 years. Shu Han, you must not try it. Shu Han, this genius, Zhao Ye really can't teach him, but she can still give some advice on things like absorbing soul rings. 20,000 years for the fourth ring? Except for the dragon god Chu Ye back then, few people can do it. She doesn't want Shu Han, this genius, to die in absorbing soul rings, or to be absorbed to death under her leadership. Seeing Zhao Ye trying to dissuade him from absorbing a 20,000-year-old soul ring, Shu Han had to tell the truth, and said helplessly, "Teacher Zhao Ye, don't worry about this matter. My third soul ring absorbed a 9,000-year-old soul ring. How could the fourth soul ring absorb an 8,000-year-old soul ring? What did you say? Your third soul ring is actually 9,000 years old." This. Zhao Ye was stunned when she heard it. "Yes. Teacher Zhao Ye. Oh my god, this kid, is he so scary?" Zhao Ye was horrified, and she tried to calm down her excitement. "Well, no wonder your third soul skill is so strong, it turns out to be 9,000 years old. Although I don't know how you did it, your third ring can absorb 9,000 years, so I guess the fourth soul ring of 20,000 years will not be a big problem, but there are still some risks. Are you sure you want to try it?" "Yeah." "Okay, let's go find a 20,000-year-old one." Zhao Ye compromised and took Shu Han to the 10,000-year area. In the end, a soul beast with a cultivation base of just over 20,000 years and suitable for Shu Han's martial soul was selected. Shu Han immediately ended the life of the soul ring, and then began to absorb it. The fusion of the 20,000-year soul beast made Shu Han's soul power soar rapidly. Level 41. Level 42. Level 43. Level 44. Shu Han's soul power increased 4 levels in a row. To increase soul power by 4 levels in a row, even for a genius like Shu Han, it would take at least a year of practice, and he is now, if I remember correctly, he should be 14 years old in a month or two. Let's not talk about Shu Han's combat power, just the soul power level cultivation talent is not inferior to those core students in the core academy. Such a genius should be recommended to the inner academy and then to the inner academy as soon as possible. Zhao Ye sighed inwardly. At this moment, Shu Han had slowly opened his eyes. He felt the power of the soul ring in his body and understood the fourth soul skill given to him. He was a little surprised at first. The 36 consecutive slashes of the magic sword, once the opponent is hit by the first sword, he will not be able to avoid it, but can only resist. This is exactly the same as my father's third soul skill. No. Shu Han suddenly frowned, thinking in his heart. My father's 36 consecutive slashes of gods and demons are indeed very powerful, but if I use it in the Wuhan Hall Academy, will I be recognized? After all, it's 10,000 years later, and there shouldn't be many people who know about the 36 consecutive slashes of gods and demons. Shu Han was a little skeptical. Why, you can absorb the fourth ring of 20,000 years, and your soul power increased by 4 levels, and you are still frowning? Aren't you satisfied enough? Zhao Ye walked over and said a little speechlessly. It's okay, let's go back, Teacher Zhao Ye. You kid. Zhao Ye shook his head and smiled, and then took Shu Han to leave the hunting ground, but on the way he ran into Qian Yu, who also came to the hunting ground to obtain soul rings. Seeing Qian Yu, Zhao Ye's face suddenly changed, and she quickly grabbed Shu Han's clothes and whispered, "Shu Han, get ready to salute." Shu Han looked at the girl walking not far away, and asked in confusion, "Teacher Zhao Ye, who is this girl? Why should she salute?" "She is the young master of our Wuhan Hall, the princess of the Wuhan Empire, the Six-Winged Angel clan, Qian Yu." Hehe, it turns out that she is a descendant of our Six-Winged clan. Shu Han smiled faintly, looking at Qian Yu in front of him with interest, but he had no intention of saluting at all. Just kidding, the descendants of the current Six-Winged Angel clan are all descendants of his sister Qian Renxue, and also descendants of Qian Renxue and Shu Han. As the son of Chu Ye and Qian Renxue, and Qian Renxue's brother, Shu Han is the ancestor of Qian Yu in front of him. How can an ancestor salute a descendant who has been passed down for who knows how many generations? Oh? It's the guy from the outer courtyard. Qian Yu also became interested and walked directly towards Shu Han and the others. "You kid, if you don't salute the young master of the Spirit Hall, if he gets upset, I can't protect you." Seeing Shu Han still standing straight, Zhao Ye was anxious. Shu Han smiled confidently. "Don't worry, the people of the Six-Winged Angel clan are not so petty." "You kid." Zhao Ye couldn't persuade Shu Han, so she could only salute alone, bending and stretching slightly, and said very respectfully, "I am Zhao Ye, the head teacher of Class 1, Grade 2 of the External Academy, and I am honored to meet young Master Qian Yu." Qian Yu glanced at him indifferently, and Shu Han next to him muttered in his heart, "This guy, knowing my identity, doesn't salute me when he sees me. It's interesting." Qian Yu didn't take it to heart, and smiled very friendly. "Teacher Zhao Yi, there is no need to be so restrained." Zhao Yi also smiled when she saw this. "Young Master Qian Yu, are you going to get a spirit ring?" Yes, I have practiced to level 50. Qian Yu answered with a smile. Master Qian Yu is only 14 years old and has already cultivated to level 50 soul power. It's amazing. Zhao Yi flattered, and then stopped. Then Zhao Yi, I don't plan to kill Master Qian Yu. Let's go. After saying that, Zhao Yi pulled Shu Han away. Wait. At this time, Qian Yu suddenly stopped the two. Zhao Yi was sweating all over his back, thinking, it's over. It must be that Shu Han has no respect for the young master, which makes the young master unhappy. A second-year student in the outer courtyard, Shu Han, right? Qian Yu directly named Shu Han. It seems that the young master knows me well. Shu Han smiled in his heart. It can be seen that Qian Yu also pays attention to him. He walked in front of Qian Yu. It's me. I heard that you have defeated all the students in the inner courtyard. The next target is the core courtyard, right? Qian Yu asked. Yes, I will go to the core courtyard to challenge the core students tomorrow. Chapter 631 Qian Yu. Why does he give me a kind feeling? Qian Yu suddenly felt like fighting, with a strong desire to challenge. In that case, after I absorb this 5th soul ring, you fight me first. How about it? No, I don't want to fight you. Shu Han almost never refuses other people's challenges. Qian Yu is the only one he refuses. Why don't you fight me? Qian Yu was puzzled. Shu Han joked. There is no point in bullying girls. Bullshit. You obviously challenged even girls. Qian Yu complained. This guy really looks like my sister when she was a teenager. So cute. Shu Han couldn't help but directly took action and pinched Qian Yu's little face. Then you think I can't bear to hurt you? Don't get me wrong, it's impossible for her to have a relationship with the descendants of the 6 winged angels. Seeing that Shu Han dared to pinch the young master's face, Zhao Yi was frightened on the spot. Crazy. Crazy. This kid is crazy. He actually dared to pinch the young master's face. You. I don't care, you have to accept my challenge. Qian Yu said angrily, but that kind of anger was a bit coquettish. But the amazing thing is, Qian Yu didn't care too much about Shu Han pinching her face. If an ordinary person dared to do this, it would definitely be an offense to her. Not to mention that she is the young master of the Wuhan Hall, a descendant of the 6 winged angels. Even if she is an ordinary girl, being pinched on the face by an unfamiliar boy is also an offensive thing. But at that moment, Qian Yu was strangely not angry, and when Qian Yu returned to God herself, she also felt amazing. Damn, Master Qian Yu didn't get angry? This made Zhao Yi at the side also confused. If you really want to fight with me, then wait until I become a core member. Shu Han waved his hand, found a reason to refuse, and turned to leave. He didn't want to hurt the descendants of the 6 winged angels, even if it was just a competition for the 6 winged angels. He just had the desire to protect them. Hey. Qian Yu pouted and dodged, watching Shu Han leave far away, but in her heart she was thinking about the previous exchange. It's really strange. Why does he give me a kind feeling? Qian Yu shook her head and couldn't figure it out, and went to get her own spirit ring. After returning, Zhao Yi immediately recommended Shu Han to the academy and let him join the inner courtyard to learn and practice in advance. It was unprecedented in the Wuhan Hall Academy that a second-year student was promoted to the inner courtyard by leaps and bounds. Although Shu Han's current strength was fully qualified to enter the inner courtyard, or even the core courtyard. But the academy has its own rules, plus Shu Han was still an outsider genius, and his identity was unknown. The academy did not immediately grant Shu Han the qualification to join the inner courtyard. Instead, Shu Han was promoted to the 3rd grade first. After completing the 3rd grade, he was promoted to the inner courtyard. It didn't matter to Shu Han whether he entered the inner courtyard or not, because in his opinion, the teachers and courses of the inner and outer courtyards were of little help to him. Only in the core courtyard might he learn something, because the teachers of the core courtyard were all titled Luo. The next day, Shu Han continued his challenge. This time he directly entered the core courtyard. As a result, he didn't expect that he couldn't get in at all and was stopped by the guards of the core courtyard. Stop. Students from the outer courtyards of the core courtyard are not allowed to enter. No matter what the reason, this student, please go back. Ah? Is that so? Shu Han was a little helpless. At this time, Qian Renxue met Shu Han again when she was about to enter the courtyard. Seeing Shu Han being stopped outside the door, Qian Renxue covered her mouth and smiled. Hey, you, an outer courtyard student, can't enter the courtyard. The courtyard can be said to be the core of our Wuhan Hall Academy. There are many secrets about our Wuhan Hall. Even if the inner courtyard students enter, they need to report and agree. And the core students are no longer limited to practicing in the academy. There are also special one-on-one teachers to provide guidance and practice. Most of the time, everyone may not be in the academy. If you want to meet them, there is no chance. But if you agree to accept my challenge, I can take you to the courtyard. Okay, it doesn't matter. Shu Han shrugged and said, then I will wait until I become an inner courtyard student, and then report to enter the courtyard. Hey. You. HMPH. Whatever you want, Qian Renxue left angrily. Time flies, 7 months later. It's the day for the outer courtyard to go on vacation again. After the vacation, Shu Han and Chu Ye will go deep into the 3rd grade. This semester, Shu Han's soul power has been upgraded from level 38 to level 46, 8 levels in 1 year. Chu Ye has upgraded from level 26 to level 30, 4 levels in 1 year. And within 2.5 years, Chu Ye has only half a year left to fulfill his promise of defeating Oabin. But Chu Ye does not plan to challenge Oabin again after half a year. He plans to challenge Oabin immediately after this vacation and when he obtains the 3rd soul ring. Defeat this person who indirectly killed his mother and trample him hard under his feet. This time, Shu Han accompanied Chu Ye out to the Xingdou Great Forest to help him obtain soul rings. Shu Han, this time I want to obtain a 10,000-year soul ring that is more than 10,000 years old. Chu Ye said very seriously. Are you sure? Yu Dao, 10,000 years is no longer a test of the body's endurance limit, and we have to face the soul turmoil from soul beasts. Shu Han actually felt it. Especially after Chu Ye came back from obtaining his 2nd martial soul, he knew that there was a secret hidden in Yu Dao, which Shu Han gradually began to not see through. It's okay, Shu Han, the characteristic of my Spirit Eye's martial soul is that it has a strong mental power. My mental level is enough to face the soul turmoil from the 10,000-year level soul beast. Okay, then I'll help you. Okay. The two of them went deep into the inner area of the Stardew Great Forest together. Finally, after many days of searching, Shu Han helped Chu Ye hunt down a purple spirit fox that was 10,000 years old and 5,000 years old. After Chu Ye finished absorbing it, his soul power finally soared to level 34, which was also a 4-level increase. Chu Ye therefore obtained the 3rd soul skill at 10,000 years, group weakness. It can greatly reduce the opponent's speed and ability, and enter a weak state. It can also be used for a single target. Yu Dao, your skill is very auxiliary. In the future, when you practice the Ice Jade Scorpion martial soul, the combination of the Spirit Eye's auxiliary control and the Ice Jade Scorpion strong attack will be very powerful. Shu Han affirmed. In Shu Han's opinion, if Chu Ye could cultivate to the level of titled Douluo, he would definitely be a formidable fighter, and his potential was extremely high. Chapter 632. The Crazy and Excited Shura God. It's you. You're his son. In Shu Han's opinion, if Chu Ye could cultivate to the level of titled Douluo, he would definitely be a formidable fighter. His potential was extremely high. Let's go, we're going back. Yes. The two are about to leave the Stardew Great Forest, but at this time, a tiger roar suddenly came from not far away. But strangely, this tiger roar was filled with fear and panic. Roar. The next second, a ghost tiger soul beast that had cultivated to 60,000 years had already rushed into the sight of Shu Han and Chu Ye. This 60,000-year-old ghost tiger was rushing towards the direction of Shu Han and Chu Ye in panic. Shu Han, something is wrong. Chu Ye frowned. Yes, this ghost tiger should be being hunted by some more powerful soul beast. If this 60,000-year-old tiger soul beast is so frightened, the soul beast that hunts it must be even more terrifying. Yu Dao. Let's go. We must not get involved. Shu Han saw that the situation was not good, and immediately shouted, and was about to lead Chu Ye away. A 60,000-year-old soul beast is already very strong, and it is also a soul beast with a relatively strong target bloodline. It is difficult for Shu Han to deal with it with his current strength, but he is still confident that he can escape from this level of soul beast. But the most important thing is whether the powerful soul beast behind that ghost tiger will also regard them as prey. If so, this level is definitely not something that Chu Han and Liu Yao can deal with now. If the hunter behind also targets them, it will be dangerous. The two fled quickly, but at this time, the powerful soul beast chasing the ghost tiger has appeared. Hululu. An extremely fierce pig cry came like a horror, and soon, a ferocious, cruel, black wild boar, with a violent killing aura all over its body, like a black light, instantly rushed behind that ghost tiger. It's actually a pig soul beast. A pig soul beast is hunting a tiger. Chu Han saw its appearance clearly and guessed, is it a demon pig? No, it's not an ordinary demon pig. This pig soul beast is very dangerous. Chu Han's eyes were filled with fear. He had only one feeling, that this pig soul beast in front of him was absolutely not to be provoked and was extremely dangerous. Don't stop. Yue Dao, flee at full speed. Chu Han retracted his target and fled with Yue Dao at full speed. At this time, the demon pig had already caught up with the ghost tiger, and its long, curved and sharp fangs instantly pierced the ghost tiger's neck. Puff. Blood was dripping. Roar. The ghost tiger screamed and was killed by the demon pig in less than a few seconds. And this demon pig was sure a god, sure a demon pig. Sure a god's cultivation has now reached more than 70,000 years, and he has the combat power equivalent to the titled Douluo level. When he was about to chase the ghost tiger, sure a god had actually discovered Chu Han and Liu Yao. But he didn't pay too much attention to the two of them. He wanted to kill the ghost tiger first. It was not until the ghost tiger was killed that Shurigod took a few more glances at Chu Han and Liu Yao, who were fleeing in the distance. But when he looked at Chu Han's back, his eyes could not be moved away. Because he seemed to see the shadow of Chu Ye in Chu Han's back. That kid, could it be? Shurigod's eyes suddenly burst into a murderous intent. He did not immediately devour the hunted ghost tiger, but rushed towards Chu Han and Liu Yao. No. We are also targeted by it. What should we do at Chu Han? Run. We can only run. We are not its opponent. The two people were instantly extremely nervous, and a kind of dead terror enveloped them, running wildly. Roar. The terrifying energy at the sure demon pig attacked. Boom, boom, boom. Ah. The trees in front of them were instantly destroyed, and Chu Han and Liu Yao were also affected by the energy and fell to the ground. Damn it. Chu Han gritted his teeth and stood up from the ground with difficulty. Bang. 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 Heavy footsteps sounded one after another. The Shurigod stepped closer to Chu Han with his huge body and footsteps, and finally stood in front of Chu Han. He lowered his head slightly, stared, and looked down at Chu Han, as if he wanted to see through this young man. You pig. Isn't that ghost tiger enough for you to eat? As he said that, Chu Han opened fire. Since he couldn't escape, he could only fight. Even if he knew that he couldn't be an opponent, he would sit and wait to be killed. Chu Han decisively released the magic sword martial spirit. Under his feet, yellow, purple, and black, four rings appeared. The terrifying sword intent was also released to the extreme. Yue Dao, you'll leave first. I'll try to see if I can hold it back. Chu Han looked directly at the sure demon pig in front of him, wanting to face it alone and let Yue Dao escape. Because he knew that only one person could block and one person could escape, and there would be a chance for one person to survive. Chu Han, who do you think I, Yue Dao, am? You have helped me so much, and we have been together for so long. We have long been brothers and partners. How could I leave you alone and go away alone? Let's go together if we want to go, and let's stay together if we want to stay. I, Yue Dao, will live and die with you. Yue Dao also slowly stood up and stood beside Chu Han, facing the sure demon pig in front of them together. Good brother, let's face it together. Chu Han's heart warmed up. Looking at Yue Dao's unwavering eyes, he knew that there was no need to say anything more. This martial spirit, this sword intent, and the aura and power on this kid. There is no mistake. There is absolutely no mistake. It's you. It's you. I've seen your face. You're his son. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. The sure demon pig suddenly became extremely excited, roaring like crazy, with an extremely strong resentment and murderous intent. I never thought that I would meet your son in this Xingdou great forest. Great. Great. Dragon God Chu Ye. Your son will fall into my hands today. Ha ha ha. I will kill your son and let you taste the pain of losing your flesh and blood. When Chu Ye had not yet inherited the throne of the Dragon God, he came to the God realm as immortal. Shurigod had seen Chu Ye's son and daughter at the time. Although Chu Han was still very young at the time, he was very different from now. but there were still some similarities in some details. The most important thing was that when Shu Han released his power, Shurigod was completely sure. This was his lifelong enemy, Chu Ye's son. While Shurigod was still excited, Shu Han had already made a move. Fourth soul skill, Demon Sword, 36 consecutive cuts. Ha! Shu. Shu Han held the demon sword in his hand and instantly slashed at the Shu demon pig in front of him. However, the power gap between the two sides was too great. Chapter 633. Life and Death, Shurigod Shu Demon Pig's Pursuit. Even though Shurigod was in an excited state and not fully prepared, Shu Han's attack was caught by Shurigod in an instant. Here, a trivial trick. Shurigod swung his arm and instantly knocked Shu Han away. Puff. After hearing this, Shu Han finally understood why the Shu demon pig in front of him had such a strong desire to kill him. Who do you know about me? You are the son of Dragon God Chu Ye and Angel God King Qian Renxue. Boy. Blame your father for daring to treat me like this. Today, I will use your blood and life to fill the resentment in my heart. I want you to die in endless despair and pain. I will torture you severely. Torture you to death. And then completely destroy your Wooden Empire and Wooden Hall. Ha 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 ha. Shurigod was completely crazy, and the pig's eyes were blood red. Just when Shurigod was about to continue to attack Shu Han, a terrifying black aura suddenly rose from Liu Yao's body again. Lux, please help me. Save my friend. This kid. Shurigod's face changed. Liu Yao actually made him feel a threatening aura. Then let's kill them together. Shurigod originally had no intention of killing Liu Yao, but since Liu Yao made him feel dangerous, he had to eliminate him together to avoid leaving behind future troubles. Liu Yao really has a secret that I don't know. We seeing the strange and terrifying aura on Liu Yao, Shu Han finally confirmed it. Liu Yao was far from being as simple as he imagined. Let's die together. What kind of grudge does this demon pig have with my father that makes its hatred so strong? Am I, Shu Han, going to die in the mouth of a pig today? Shu Han looked unwilling. He did not associate the Shu demon pig in front of him with Shurigod, one of the 5 great gods in the god realm. About the life of his father Chu Ye, Shu Han often heard many stories and things from the group of gods who became gods together in Douluo Continent. He knew that his father Chu Ye had countless enemies in his life. The spirit whole unified Douluo Continent, and naturally experienced various battles and faced various enemies, so naturally there would be many enemies left. Or people who regarded Chu Ye as an enemy. But what Shu Han didn't expect was that even soul beasts would regard his father Chu Ye as an enemy. The Shu demon pig, whose bloodline was so strong, why didn't his father kill this soul beast? Shu Han had many confusions. But these questions were all for the future. What he had to face now was the question of life and death. And this time, Shu Han really felt that he was doomed. Die. The Shu god had already opened his pig mouth and was biting. But it was also at this critical moment. Another more terrifying soul beast energy swept in and suddenly attacked the Shu god. Bang. Boom boom boom. The Shu god was blown away by this force, screaming, and his body was instantly blown away dozens of meters. At that moment, Liu Yao and Shu Han were also swept by this energy, and there was nothing wrong with it. What's going on? Shu Han looked weakly in the direction where the energy that suddenly attacked the Shu god came from, and saw a strange creature, like a weird elf. Qian Renxue's silkworm instantly recognized the terrifying soul beast that appeared. It's a demon spirit. Brother Qian Meng, what is a demon spirit? Liu Yao asked in confusion. The demon spirit is the 8th most ferocious beast in the continent today. It is also one of the guys who imprisoned me for tens of thousands of years and constantly drained my energy. Qian Renxue's silkworm said a little angrily. 10,000 years later, humans made a list of 10 ferocious beasts that they knew existed and were very powerful, and called them the top 10 ferocious beasts. Now some of the top 10 ferocious beasts have been reshuffled. The first of the top 10 ferocious beasts is the golden-eyed Black Dragon King, Emperor Tian. The second is the evil-eyed Tyrant Lord, the Evil Emperor. The third is the Ice and Snow Girl, the Snow Emperor, who has now followed Chu Ye to become a god, so the third has become the Emerald Swan, BG. The fourth is the Dark Gold Terror Claw Bear, the Bear King. The fifth is the Demon-eyed Demon Tree, the 10,000 Demon King. The sixth is the Hell Demon Dragon, ZG. The seventh is the 3-headed Red Demon Mastiff, the Red King. The eighth is the Demon Spirit. The ninth is the Titan Snow Demon King, Atai, who is on the list. The last of the 10 fierce beasts also came from the Xingdou Great Forest. The 10th, Qian Renxue King, the boss, has a cultivation base of 210,000 years. These are the current 10 fierce beasts. Because the fierce beasts of Daitian were baptized by the power of Chu Ye's dragon god, they practiced faster. It turned out to be a demon spirit. Is it here to save me? No, it doesn't know who I am, right? Shu Han also quickly recognized the fierce beasts and demon spirits in the Qingdou Great Forest. He also knew that the group of fierce beasts headed by Daitian could be said to be Chu Ye's subordinates. Finally found you, sure demon pig. You wantonly slaughtered the soul beasts of our Qingdou Great Forest and improved your cultivation base by devouring the flesh and blood of soul beasts. Soul beast pests like you, today, I will completely eradicate you on behalf of the Qingdou Great Forest. The demon spirit said majestically. Now the group of fierce beasts of Daitian, even the weakest demon spirit, has cultivated for more than 300,000 years. Very powerful. Sure enough, it has been noticed by the damn group of fierce beasts. Sure God looked very ugly. He has only cultivated for more than 70,000 years. Although he has the ability to defeat soul beasts of more than 100,000 years, he is definitely not able to defeat beasts above 200,000 levels. Damn it. Why at this time? Get out of the way. Give me the demon spirit. Don't get in the way. Azure God roared. At that moment, he rushed towards Shu Han again. He wanted to kill Shu Han and then escape. Although the demon spirit didn't know why Azure God wanted to kill the two human teenagers so much, it didn't recognize Shu Han. But the demon spirit only knew that its mission was to eliminate this Azure demon pig. Here, you still have the mind to attack humans in front of me. The demon spirit sneered and moved again. Azure God can enhance his cultivation and strength by devouring and slaughtering other soul beasts. This type of soul beast is equivalent to the existence of evil soul masters in the human world. Chapter 634. The King of 10,000 Demons takes action to hunt down the Azure God. Recently, the frequency of Azure God devouring other soul beasts is increased, which has attracted the attention of Emperor Tian's group of beasts. Therefore, Emperor Tian sent the demon spirit to eliminate Azure demon pig. Die, demon pig. The demon spirit attacked Azure God again, and the two sides fought. Azure God was no match for the demon spirit and was beaten by it. If it continues, Azure God might be killed by the demon spirit. He was extremely unwilling. Damn it. Boy, you are lucky today, but you wait until you can't escape from my palm. One day, I will make you die in my hands. Azure God roared in anger and had to give up killing Shu Han and turned to flee. The demon spirit chased him away. A crisis was resolved in this way. Saved, Shu Han and Chu Ye both breathed a sigh of relief and lay flat on the ground to rest. Shu Han, it seems that we are not destined to die. We are still alive like this. Chu Ye said with a look of surviving a disaster. Yeah, it's a good thing the demon spirit appeared, otherwise we would be in real danger today. Shu Han was still in shock. He lay on the ground for less than a minute before he got up quickly. Yuao, let's leave the Douluo Great Forest as soon as possible. Well, let's go. Shu Han and Yuao also knew that the crisis was not completely over. He and Shu Han supported each other and quickly left the inner area of the Douluo Great Forest. When they were about to escape from the Douluo Great Forest, Yuao said, Shu Han, why do I feel that the demon pig seems to hate you very much? Did anything happen between you and the demon pig before? No, this is the first time I have met this demon pig. Maybe it has a grudge with my father, Shu Han said, feeling a little uneasy in his heart. This feeling of uneasiness came from the Azure demon pig Azure God. A Azure demon pig with 70,000 years of cultivation is actually not dangerous to Shu Han at all. The cultivation of soul beasts is so long. He, Shu Han, may be stronger than the current Azure demon pig in less than 10 years. A soul beast cannot kill humans in the world. He can say that as long as he does not come to the Qingdou Great Forest, a demon pig with 70,000 years of cultivation will never have the opportunity to threaten him. Shu Han should not take this kind of character seriously, but he cares about it in his heart. Forget it, maybe I am worrying too much. There is a high probability that the demon pig has died in the hands of the demon spirit. Shu Han shook his head and stopped thinking about the demon pig. If Shu Han knew that this Azure demon pig was the reincarnation of Azure God, one of the 5 great gods in the God realm, and awakened the memory of Azure God, he would not think so. After a while, Shu Han and Chu Ye came to the surrounding town to rest and recover. On the other side, Azure God was still being chased by the demon spirit. He was chased by the demon spirit for several hours and was beaten half to death by the demon spirit. But Azure God was the strongest human god king in the God realm at the time. His ability is not only the sheer demon pig body, but also the ability it brings. Almost being beaten to death, the demon escaped from the Qingdou Great Forest into the demon spirit's pursuit. Azure God was extremely angry and roared with hatred. Demon spirit! And you beasts in the Qingdou Great Forest! I will never let you go. One day, I will come back and devour you all. Azure God's voice echoed in the jungle on the edge of this area, and his figure had long disappeared. It actually escaped. How could this demon pig have so many strange powers? What's going on with it? The demon spirit looked ugly and heavy-hearted. It should have been easy for it to kill a 70,000-year-old demon pig with more than 300,000 years of cultivation, but no matter how it chased it, it could not kill it, and it finally escaped. There was no other way. The demon spirit could only report the news of Azure God's escape back to Emperor Qian. A moment later, the demon spirit came to the place where Emperor Qian was in seclusion and surrendered in front of him. Sorry, Lord Beast God, the demon pig escaped from my hands. Emperor Qian long frowned. How could this happen, demon spirit? You have more than 300,000 years of cultivation, can't you handle a 10,000-year-old beast? The demon spirit said seriously. Although the demon pig's cultivation is 70,000 years, it has the strength of a 100,000-year-old beast. It has a strong killing power and masters all kinds of strange powers, which makes it impossible for me to kill it. Lord Beast God, it is very different. I always feel that it is not like our Soul Beast clan. Oh? It seems that we underestimated it. Where is this demon pig now? Emperor Qian asked. Alas, it has escaped from the scope of our Qingdou Great Forest. I don't know where it will go. It may be difficult to find it and kill it. The demon spirit sighed. Emperor Qian had already learned from the demon spirit that the sheer demon pig was different. This dangerous existence must be eradicated as soon as possible. He said in a deep voice, Yolin, you go and rest. I will let the 10,000 Demon King take care of the matter of eradicating the demon pig. Okay, Lord Beast God, then I will take my leave first. Seeing this, the demon spirit retreated and left. A moment later, the 10,000 Demon King appeared. The 10,000 Demon King's cultivation has reached nearly 700,000 years. It is the strongest plant-type soul beast, and its body is the demon tree. Among all the fierce beasts in the Douluo Great Forest, its mental power is second only to Emperor Qian. Its mental power can be said to be very strong. It can also use the plant ability of other trees to achieve the best reconnaissance effect. No fierce beast is more suitable than the 10,000 Demon King to go out and find the whereabouts of the sure god. 10,000 Demon King, you go. Emperor Qian said. Okay, I will find that demon pig. The 10,000 Demon King responded and then disappeared in an instant. The 10,000 Demon Kings set out on a journey to find the sure god. They went to all the soul beast habitats on the Douluo Continent and searched everywhere. If there was no sure god in this area of the Douluo Continent, then it would go to the original Sun and Moon Continent. The sure god who escaped from the Douluo Great Forest fled directly to the Sun and Moon Continent. The sure god knew that the group of fierce beasts of Emperor Qian would most likely not let him go easily, and the best choice at the moment was to went to the largest soul beast forest in the Sun and Moon Empire, the Demon Forest. There was a deadly rival of Emperor Qian, the evil tyrant overlord, the evil emperor. This was the second of the 10 fierce beasts. The sure god avoided the places where humans lived along the way and went to the Demon Forest. In the outside human world, soul beasts like him who casually left the soul beast habitat forest and entered the human world would not escape the fate of being captured by humans once they were discovered. And there are too many strong humans now. In addition, the sure god is now in a state of severe injury, and I am afraid that any soul Douluo can easily take him down. Chapter 635. 2.5 years of agreement, Ayuya challenges Oabin. God Shura was almost hovering between life and death, and finally managed to escape into the demonic forest and settle down. Demon Spirit. When I return to the Douluo Great Forest, you will be the first to die. And Dragon God Chu Ye, your son will die in my hands. I want revenge. I will destroy everything you have step by step. God Shura was full of resentment, and continued to devour other soul beasts crazily in this demonic forest. In the demonic forest, besides the evil emperor, God Shura can be said to be the second most powerful soul beast. And that evil emperor is not a good guy either. As long as God Shura does not go too far, the evil emperor will not interfere. Swallow. I must cultivate to the 100,000 year level as soon as possible. Transform and cultivate again, otherwise I can't kill his child at all. God sure knew very well how slow soul beasts were to cultivate. Even if he could increase his cultivation by devouring soul beasts, it would still be very long to cultivate for 1,000,000 years. It is far less fast than transforming and cultivating again. If he did not transform and cultivate again, with the talent of Chu Ye's son Chu Han, he might become very powerful in a few years. Azura got into a deep sleep, recovering from the wounds inflicted by the demon spirit. Meanwhile, Chu Han and Liu Yao's vacation was over, and they returned safely to the Spirit Hall Academy. After the vacation, Chu Han and Liu Yao successfully completed the entrance examination and became third-year students of the Spirit Hall Academy. There was only less than half a year left since Liu Yao made the bold statement that he would surpass Oabin in 2.5 years. Liu Yao is now level 34, and Oabin is level 39. Liu Yao didn't want to wait any longer, and he planned to challenge Oabin today. Oabin, I promised to surpass you within 2.5 years. Now, it's time for me to fulfill my promise. Today, after school, I'll wait for you in the fighting spirit area. Liu Yao rushed directly to Oabin's class, and challenged Oabin in full view of everyone. HMPH. Liu Yao. You're here. I can't wait to teach you a lesson, but I didn't expect you to dare to challenge me. You're brave, you're brave. Oabin was not afraid at all and agreed to the Vietnam War today, but he was extremely disdainful. Liu Yao chose to challenge Oabin in public, just to surpass him and defeat him in front of everyone. As for the fact that Liu Yao surpassed Oabin in 2.5 years, it was actually an event that the outer courtyard paid more attention to. After all, Liu Yao and Oabin are now quite famous figures in the outer courtyard. Liu Yao's growth was amazing. He gradually became stronger from a lowest level 1 ring spirit master and surpassed his peers. Such inspirational figures are all students that the academy will promote. Oabin was a 3-ring spirit master when he entered the school as a freshman. He was a very strong student from the beginning, and his combat power ranked at least in the top 4 among his peers. Even Oabin's current combat power is among the top students in the entire outer courtyard. Level 39 soul power is already very high in the outer courtyard. With the powerful evil-eyed white tiger martial spirit, the 4th and 5th grade students have almost no rivals. I'm afraid that when Oabin is promoted to the 4th grade, he will almost be among the top combat power in the outer courtyard. So after Liu Yao challenged Oabin, this battle attracted a large number of outer courtyard students, who were ready to go to watch the battle in the evening. Soon, the time came to 8 o'clock in the evening. At this moment, the audience seats in the battlefield of the fighting spirit area were almost full. Chu Han was among them. He often came to the fighting spirit area, but Chu Han always fought on the stage and never watched the battle in the spectator seats. This was the first time. Liu Yao was almost the opposite of Chu Han. He always came to the fighting spirit area to watch the battle, but this time, he stood in the fighting spirit area in person. Looking at the crowd in the spectator seats and Chu Han who was sitting with Xiao Xiao, eating snacks and watching him, Liu Yao smiled slightly. Listening to the mocking, disdainful, and negative voices around him, Liu Yao didn't take it to heart. His mood would not be affected by these voices. He looked at Oabin who was already standing on the stage opposite him. This Liu Yao really dares to challenge Oabin. Hey. You don't really think he can surpass Oabin in 2.5 years, do you? That's hilarious. Liu Yao is growing fast, but Oabin's talent is not weak either. It is said that Oabin has reached level 39 after returning from vacation, and defeated a 5th-year student 2 days ago. What can Liu Yao used to fight Oabin? The students in the spectator seats mocked. Most of them were disdainful, but there were also a few who remained skeptical. Don't be so sure. Don't forget, last year, during the 2nd-year entrance examination, Liu Yao already hit 26 soul power, and he also showed a 2nd martial soul. After all, he has twin martial souls, and his combat ability, awareness, and skills are also very powerful. I think Liu Yao is still qualified to compete with Oabin, yes, but it should be unlikely to defeat Oabin. It's only been a year since he was level 26 last year. Can he break through the 3rd ring in a year? Even if he is at most level 31, right? How can a level 31 win against a level 39 with a difference of 8 levels? Haha, some people's comments were relatively fair, judging by their own cognition. But they would never have thought that Liu Yao was already level 34. Oabin crossed his arms, looked disdainful and conceited, and sneered at Liu Yao. Hehe, Liu Yao, you are quite smart to choose to challenge me at this time. After all, if it's a few months later, I will be a 4th soul master, and then you'll have no chance of surpassing me. But even if you were me now, you can't be my opponent. Come on, let this young master trample you, a bastard, under his feet within 10 moves. Oabin's mouth corners slightly raised. Bastard. Oabin, you are the bastard. Liu Bao's eyes instantly turned cold, he clenched his fists tightly, and a burst of anger burned up. He recalled that at the time in the O family, it was only because his mother blocked Oabin's way that she was bullied, causing her mother to be injured and seriously ill due to her weak body. But the O family completely ignored it, which eventually led to the death of Liu Bao's mother due to a serious illness that could not be cured. It can be said that the origin of the incident was because of Oabin. Today, I will defeat you, the eldest son of the O family, the proud genius of the O family. I want you to kneel in front of me. Just you. Evil-eyed white tiger, spirit possessed. Roar. Oabin directly released his spirit, and the battle was about to begin. Liu Bao was not afraid at all, his eyes were firm, and he also released his second spirit, the Ice Scorpion. Chapter 636. Liu Bao beats Oabin. Tear it. A huge ice scorpion appeared behind Liu Bao, carrying an aura that was no weaker than Oabin's evil-eyed white tiger. Liu Bao's soul power fluctuations also made Oabin feel that he was not much inferior to himself. Oabin frowned slightly and said, "What level has your soul power reached?" Liu Bao said, "Level 34. "What? You're actually already level 34. Oabin's face changed drastically when he heard this, and he was gloomy in his heart. How is it possible? How could he be already level 34? Impossible. Is his soul power only 5 levels lower than mine now? How can this damn illegitimate child cultivate so fast? How could it be? Ha, are you surprised?" Liu Bao smiled faintly. "Humph. Level 34, so what?" Oabin was tough on his face, but for the first time in his heart he felt a strong threat, not because he felt that Liu Bao could defeat him now, but because he felt threatened by Liu Bao's cultivation talent. He began to worry and fear that Liu Bao could really surpass him one day. You have to know that when Liu Bao was assessed as a freshman, he was only level 16. He was 16 levels behind himself, but now he was only 5 levels behind. If 2 years pass, wouldn't Liu Bao's spirit power really surpass his own? This is what makes Oabin feel threatened. We must suppress him today. We must not let him surpass me in the future. Oabin's heart suddenly darkened. He planned to cripple and destroy Liu Bao, so that he would have to lie in bed for most of the year and could not practice. To suppress Liu Bao's practice speed. But when he saw the spirit rings that appeared under Liu Bao's feet, Oabin was dumbfounded. White, purple, black. The third spirit ring is at the 10,000 year level. What? Fuck. Oh my god. Look. Liu Bao's third spirit ring is at the 10,000 year level. At this moment, the whole audience was stunned, shocked, and boiling, and exclaimed continuously. Good guy. Good guy. Liu Bao shocked the outer courtyard again. So what if it's a 10,000 year spirit ring? It's just a useless auxiliary spirit after all. And your spirit power is 5 levels lower than mine. Liu Bao, take my punch. Aga. Bang. Oabin exploded, instantly disappeared from the spot, and punched Liu Bao. However, Liu Bao also punched back. Bang. The fists of both sides clashed head-on again. The last time was when they came back from vacation a year ago. At the time, the two sides had a head-on conflict. At the time, Oabin did not get the upper hand from Liu Bao. This time, he was even knocked back by Liu Bao's punch. What? Oabin was beaten back several steps and stabilized his posture. How unreasonable. Oabin was very dissatisfied and attacked again, launching a fierce attack on Liu Bao. Bang bang bang. Liu Bao still chose to confront head-on, and started a head-on close combat with Oabin, punching flesh, colliding and impacting flesh. Liu Bao was challenging Oabin's strengths in his own way. Close combat was Oabin's strongest side. But surprisingly, Liu Bao did not fall into the disadvantage at all. Because now Liu Bao's physical strength is no longer the same as before. With the blessing of a 10,000 year soul ring and the blessing of the Ice Jade Scorpion martial soul, his strength, ability, and physical fitness have changed dramatically. Even through his superb fighting skills, he avoided Oabin's punch at the limit, turned his head sideways to avoid it, and then immediately hit Oabin's chin with an uppercut. Bang. Ah. Oabin was hit into the air by a punch. Liu Bao jumped up and kicked Oabin hard again. Bang. Boom. Shu Han nodded secretly. Not bad, this wave is very beautiful. At this moment, Oabin's body fell to the ground, but Yue now also fell down and beat Oabin on the ground crazily. Didn't you say you would crush me within 10 moves? Oabin. You are too confident. Now, I'm beating you up. I will definitely surpass you. Yue vented his inner anger and punched Oabin in the face several times. Damn it. Get out of my way. First soul skill, White Tiger Body Shield. Roar. Oabin activated his soul skill, and with a surge of self-strengthening, he instantly shook off a Yue on his body. Damn it. A Yue. Oabin was completely enraged, his face full of ruthlessness. I will cripple you, I will destroy you. But Yue was also serious, and the Spirit Eye's martial soul emerged. First soul skill, Spirit Detection. He first used this skill to enhance his spiritual perception, making subtle movements, actions, analysis, and observation clearer, and then directly released the Ice Jade Scorpion martial soul. That's right, he can make the Spirit Eyes and Ice Jade Scorpion martial souls release their existence at the same time. At this moment, Yue finally used the power of the Ice Jade Scorpion. First soul skill, Ice Scorpion Arm. His arms were immediately covered with a thick layer of ice, which turned into a pair of scorpion claws, emitting a terrifying and domineering power. Shoo! Bang! Boom! The two sides punched each other head-on again, but this time, Oabin was completely crushed and his body was instantly knocked away more than 10 meters. Impossible. How can my strength be completely inferior to his? Oabin couldn't accept it and became more and more ferocious. Third soul skill, White Tiger Transformation. Roar. With the release of this move, Oabin's power reached its peak. He rushed towards Yue again, but Yue's Ice Scorpion Arm was a soul skill of 100,000 years, and the power increase was so terrifying that Oabin was no match for Yue again and was beaten on the field. How could this be? How could this kid be so strong? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Oabin became more and more frustrated as he fought, and was hit hard by Yue again. Puff! He screamed and spat out a mouthful of blood. He stood up unwillingly. Second soul skill, White Tiger Fierce Like Wave. Ice Jade Scorpion First soul skill, Ice Scorpion Possession. Yue easily blocked the attack and immediately switched to the Spirit Eye martial soul. Spirit Eye First soul skill, Soul Shock. A spiritual attack instantly hit his eyes. At that moment, Oabin's spirit was severely impacted. He stood there like a fool for a while. It's over, Oabin. Yue looked indifferent. When Oabin came back to his senses, Yue had already swung the huge Ice Scorpion Arm and hit him hard in the face. Bang! Puff! Ah! Oabin's mouth spurted blood and his knees straightened to the ground. Kneeling in front of Yue. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novel, as there you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 637. Admit Your Mistakes. Shu Han is promoted to the inner courtyard ahead of Shadul. Oabin, who used to be high and mighty in the O family, always looked down upon Yue with contempt, as if he were an ant. But now, he knelt on his knees in front of Yue. He knelt in front of the ant he despised, and was looked down upon by Yue. At this moment, it seemed as if Oabin was also an ant in Yue's eyes. Oabin could not accept that the existence he once despised would one day really surpass him. This discomfort and aggrieved feeling made him crazy and angry, and he had already murderous intent towards Yue in his eyes. Yue, I want you to die. Oabin used his last bit of strength to rush towards Yue frantically. However, Yue kicked him to the ground mercilessly again. Seeing the murderous intent in the other party's eyes, Yue became more ruthless at this moment and rushed up again. He pressed Oabin to the ground and beat him violently, punching and kicking him. Oabin, I'm no longer a member of the O family, and I don't need to be afraid of your identity. And you are no longer my opponent. Don't provoke me again, otherwise I will never let you off easily. Do you understand? Bang bang bang. Yue clenched his fists tightly and punched Oabin's face madly. Now, you. Admit your mistakes to me. Admit your mistakes? Who do you think you are? Bang. Ah. Before Oabin could finish his words, Yue punched him again. You don't admit it, right? Okay. Then I will beat you until you bow your head and admit your mistakes to me. Yu Yao did not stop, and punched Oabin in the face with force. After more than 10 seconds, Oabin finally couldn't stand it anymore. He was scared of being beaten. The constant pain and heavy punches made him collapse. Oabin completely abandoned his dignity and pride, like a dog that had made a mistake, begging for mercy loudly. "Don't hit me anymore, Yu Yao, I was wrong. I admit my mistake, you. I'm sorry." Humph. Yu Yao snorted coldly, slowly retracted his strength, looked at the person he stepped on, and silently looked into the air as if he saw his mother's figure. "Mom, I will let those who have bullied us get the punishment they deserve one by one." Yu Yao retracted his gaze and turned away. Oabin, who was beaten and swollen, covered in blood, and extremely miserable, was left lying on the field. Yu Yao actually defeated Oabin. Fuck. Too strong. In just 2 years. This Yu Yao has cultivated from a dozen levels to the current level of more than 30, and finally defeated Oabin, who has a powerful beast martial spirit, the evil-eyed white tiger. Horrible. This guy's growth rate is really too terrifying, too amazing. Everyone was amazed and couldn't help themselves for a long time. Because before the battle began, few people believed that Yu Yao could defeat Oabin. But Yu Yao did it, and it was beyond everyone's expectations and imagination. Time and time again, he gave people a feeling of creating miracles and slapped them all in the face. After this battle, everyone also understood that Yu Yao's strength had completely surpassed the 3rd and 4th grades, and even the 5th grade. Yu Yao's strength has already stood among the very powerful students in the outer courtyard. He has become one of the real figures in the outer courtyard of Wuhan Academy. This battle made Yu Yao famous again. "Yu Yao, you seem to no longer need my protection." Seeing Yu Yao's current strength, Shu Han also smiled with relief, turned around and left the viewing area to meet Yu Yao. The two returned to the dormitory together. Oabin, who was severely beaten, had already developed hatred and murderous intentions towards Yu Yao. "Yu Yao, I will never let you go. I want you to die. I will mobilize the power of my family to send you to hell." Oabin had the intention to kill Yu Yao and planned to use the power of his family to assassinate Yu Yao when he was away on vacation. Time flies. 11 months later. Another semester ended and it was time for the holiday. When school started, it was time to enter the 4th grade. Now Shu Han's soul power has reached level 49, and Yu Yao's soul power has also increased to level 38. It was also time for the holiday. Today, in class, someone from the inner courtyard came to the 3rd grade class 1 where Shu Han was. He personally called Shu Han's name and asked him to report to the inner courtyard next semester. Zhao Ye had already known about this. He had applied to the inner courtyard before, hoping that a genius like Shu Han could enter the inner courtyard to practice as soon as possible. But the college thought it was too early at the time, so it decided to wait until after Shu Han's 3rd grade semester, and now is the time. Zhao Ye said, "Shu Han, with your strength and talent, you don't need to stay in the outer courtyard to practice anymore. After you come back from vacation, go directly to the inner courtyard to practice." Inner courtyard. Well, it's time to enter the inner courtyard. It's really boring to stay in the outer courtyard. Shu Han was also waiting for this moment. Unexpectedly, he entered the inner courtyard in advance. He nodded. "Okay, teacher Zhao Ye." The classmates in the class all looked at Shu Han with envy. He was promoted to the inner courtyard in the 3rd grade. It's really awesome. Comparing people is so annoying. For most of them, let alone entering the inner courtyard in the 3rd grade, whether they can enter the inner courtyard in the 6th grade is still a big problem. In addition to envy, there is nothing else to do. After class, Shu Han, Yu Yao, and Xiao Xiao went to the cafeteria together. Xiao Xiao said reluctantly, "Shu Han, you will enter the inner courtyard next semester. We can no longer go to class together, go to get out of class together, and practice together often after class." Yu Yao smiled and said, "Xiao Xiao, Shu Han just went to the inner courtyard, not to leave our Wuhan Hall Academy. Why do you act like we are going to separate? It's not like we won't see each other anymore." "Hehe, yes, Xiao Xiao, although I went to the inner courtyard, we will still meet often. Moreover, because you ranked first in the freshman assessment, you can all enter the inner courtyard to practice after the end of the 5th grade semester. In fact, I went to the inner courtyard 2 years earlier than you. 2 years later, we will meet in the inner courtyard and practice together." Shu Han smiled. Okay, the three of them walked to the cafeteria while talking, ordered food and ate. After the meal, they returned to their dormitories. 3 days later, the vacation for this semester was over. Chu Ye plans to stay in the academy and study the technology of Soul Guide in the Soul Guide department with Fan Yu. Now Chu Ye is Fan Yu's disciple. Shu Han, who has not seen Ye Guy for 2 years, not only did not give up the girl he met in the Sun Moon Empire, but his longing for her became stronger and stronger. Time did not fade the feelings between them, but made them miss each other more deeply, and even made them clearly understand the value of each other in their hearts. Chapter 638. Large Evil Soul Master Stronghold. The Ordinary Alliance dispatched 60% of its forces to attack. They have been in contact through letters for the past 2 years, and they have never stopped. Shu Han was hesitating whether to go to the Sun Moon Empire to look for Ye Guy during this holiday. At this time, the letter delivery person in the academy came to Shu Han on a bicycle and said, "Shu Han, your letter." Shu Han opened it and saw that it was a letter from Ye Guy. It read, "Shu Han, our Ordinary Alliance has discovered a large-scale Evil Soul Master base. The leader has ordered to personally lead 60% of the combat personnel of the entire Alliance to go out and intend to destroy this Evil Soul Master base. I'm also among the personnel who were dispatched. I think this time, we should be able to find out who the mysterious force hidden in the Sun Moon Empire and secretly cultivating Evil Soul Masters is. So, I may not be able to reply to your letter in time during this period, but don't worry, I will come back safely, Hilly. Ye Guy. A large-scale Evil Soul Master base, and 60% of the Soul Master power of the Ordinary Alliance." Seeing the heart in the envelope, Shu Han couldn't help but feel a little worried. The Ordinary Alliance can be said to be the only Soul Master force in the Sun and Moon Empire that is vigorously suppressing Evil Soul Masters, and Shu Han also knows the strength of the Ordinary Alliance. The last time he visited the Ordinary Alliance, he roughly understood the strength of the Ordinary Alliance. The leader is a level 95 titled Douluo, and there is also a titled Douluo sitting in the middle. That is, there are a total of 2 titled Douluo level strongmen. The Ordinary Alliance is not the top force in the entire continent, but it is actually a relatively strong Soul Master force. The leader personally led 60% of the Alliance's strength, which shows that the Evil Soul Master stronghold they're suppressing this time is not so easy to deal with. The opponent is obviously strong. The most important thing is that this large-scale battle will definitely cause casualties, and casualties are inevitable. Ye Guy has a sacred angel martial spirit that can absolutely restrain Evil Soul Masters. She will definitely be the first target of the opponent's concentrated fire. If things go wrong, there'll still be accidents. The most important thing is that after he finished reading the content of the letter, at this moment, Shu Han's right eyelid kept twitching, as if implying that something bad is about to happen. No, I have to find her. Out of concern, Shu Han finally decided to set out to the Sun Moon Empire again to look for Ye Guy. Anyway, it was a holiday and he had nothing to do. He immediately bought a train ticket to the Sun Moon Empire plate, and after changing trains on the way, he went directly to the city where the Ordinary Alliance was located. When Shu Han arrived at the Ordinary Alliance, Ye Guy and his group had already set off. At this moment, in the Ordinary Alliance Leaders Hall, a member came to report. Report to the Deputy Alliance Leader, there is a friend of Miss Yi outside the hall who wants to see you. Gil's friend? Okay, let him in. The Deputy Alliance Leader said. Soon, Shu Han was led into the main hall and stood in front of the Deputy Alliance Leader, who was the second titled Douluo of the Ordinary Alliance. Seeing Shu Han's face, the Deputy Leader recognized him immediately and smiled happily. Oh? You are the student of the Spirit Hall Academy who visited our Ordinary Alliance 2 years ago, Shu Han, right? It's me, the junior. Shu Han bowed slightly and said bluntly, Shu Han came here to find Ye Guy this time. Oh, Guy is not in the Alliance now. She has something to do. If you have time, you can rest in the Alliance for a few days and wait for her to return. The Deputy Leader smiled. The Deputy Leader was very nice to Shu Han, a genius like a demon. I know that Ye Guy went with the leader to eliminate an Evil Soul Master's stronghold. Please tell me their location, and I will go to help. Shu Han said. Well, Shu Han, the number of Evil Soul Masters gathered this time is still very dangerous. With your strength, you can't help much. It's better to sit quietly in my alliance and rest for a few days and wait for them to return. The Deputy Leader persuaded. After all, Shu Han was not a member of their Ordinary Alliance, and he was a genius from the Spirit Hall Academy. He guessed that students like Shu Han must be the focus of training at the Spirit Hall Academy. If the Spirit Hall Academy knew that Shu Han came to their Ordinary Alliance, it would be difficult for them to explain to the Spirit Hall Academy if something unexpected happened to him at the Evil Soul Master's base. Moreover, he felt that Chu Han was so young that he would not bring much combat power to the alliance leader, so he wanted to refuse. But Chu Han heard it and released his power directly. Under his feet, 4 rings of yellow, purple, and black appeared, and at the same time, they were blessed with the sword intent of gods and demons. Chu Han showed his power to tell the deputy alliance leader his role. Chu Han said very seriously, "I'm already a 49 level peak 4 soul master, and I also have a combat power close to the level of soul fighters. If the deputy leader does not believe it, you can personally verify whether I have such power." "What? Level 49 soul power?" If I remember correctly, he was still level 38 2 years ago. In 2 years, his soul power has increased by 11 levels. This kid is really a genius. This talent is not inferior to Ye at all. The deputy leader was shocked and amazed when he heard it. As for Chu Han's combat power equivalent to soul fighters, he remained skeptical, but did not say that he did not believe it. He said in a deep voice, "No need to verify it, I believe what you said. There are not many strong people at the level of soul fighters in the ordinary alliance, right? My strength is enough to improve the ordinary alliance a lot. Please tell me their location, deputy leader. I am willing to participate in the war unconditionally, and I will bear the consequences myself." Chu Han requested again. "Well, okay, I will tell you their location, but after you meet up with them, please be sure to obey that command and arrangement of our leader." "I understand." Chu Han nodded. Then the deputy leader told Chu Han, Ye Gai and their location, and Chu Han immediately set off and went there quickly. This address is at the edge of the Sun-Moon Empire plate, far away from the center of the Sun-Moon Empire. It is a remote, secluded area with very weak legal jurisdiction. This place is sparsely populated and surrounded by mountains and wilderness, so there is no train going here. Chu Han can only take the train to the nearest station and get off, walk, and enter. At this moment, in the depths of this barren mountain, a large group of evil soul masters are gathering together, and their number has exceeded 100. They seem to be performing some special ritual. Among the evil soul masters, there is a familiar face. It is Lan Fuzi, the 100,000-year-old deep-sea demon whale king who transformed and rebuilt and joined the Sun-Moon Empire Royal Academy. She stood in the group of evil soul masters and became one of them. Lan Fuzi transformed and rebuilt on the island to cultivate to level 60, entered the mainland Sun-Moon Empire and joined the Sun-Moon Empire Royal Academy to cultivate. She has been working hard to cultivate and become stronger, striving to become a 99-level peerless Luo powerhouse as soon as possible. Chapter 639. The Undead Skeleton Army, the terrifying level 89 evil spirit master. She has also been trying to get herself into the upper echelons of the Sun-Moon Empire's royal family, so that she can have the right to speak and push the Sun-Moon Empire to wage war against the Spirit Hall Empire. During the 2 years that Lan Fuzi has been lurking in the Sun-Moon Empire, she has indeed come into contact with people in high positions in the Sun-Moon Empire, and can roughly figure it out from a large amount of fragmented information. The Sun-Moon Empire does have the ambition and preparation to wage war against the Spirit Hall Empire again. They are even preparing for these things in secret. One day, Lan Fuzi accidentally discovered that people from the Sun-Moon Empire seem to be in close contact with a mysterious Soul Master organization at a gathering of high-level nobles in the Empire. After Lan Fuzi's in-depth understanding, he found that some of the people in this mysterious organization were evil people who were cursed and shouted by everyone, evil Soul Masters. The deep-sea demon whale king is an evil existence in the sea. It accelerates the growth of its own cultivation by devouring the flesh and blood of other soul beasts. They can be said to be evil soul masters in the sea, and they are of the same nature as human evil soul masters. The cultivation methods of the evil soul masters are quite similar, so Lan Fuzi is more sensitive to the evil soul master group and is particularly interested in this evil soul master organization, wanting to learn more. In the end, Lan Fuzi tried every possible way to contact the evil soul masters, and then successfully joined this organization and became a member of it. He also understood that this organization is called the Holy Spirit Church. The Holy Spirit Church has close contacts with the Sunday and Moon Empire, and it seems that they are also planning a huge plan, but Lan Fuzi is not very clear about the specific situation, as she has just joined the Holy Spirit Church. But compared to breaking into the upper echelons of the Sunday and Moon Empire, Lan Fuzi prefers to occupy a high position in the Evil Soul Master organization of the Holy Spirit Church, and through the means of the Evil Soul Master, her cultivation can also be improved faster. Today, hundreds of people from the Holy Spirit Church gathered here to help an evil soul master who has cultivated to level 89 to complete the advanced ceremony of breaking through level 90. Evil soul masters cultivate very quickly, much faster than ordinary soul masters, but very few evil soul masters can cultivate to the level of titled Douluo. Therefore, this 89th level evil soul master gathered hundreds of believers and came here to absorb the moisture, yin energy, and the power of a large number of dead souls and bones. Help him achieve the title of titled Douluo realm. This place can be regarded as a former mass grave. About 1,000 years ago, a war broke out here, and a large number of soldiers died in it. There are endless bones buried under this land. At this moment, the ceremony of promotion to titled Douluo has begun. But what they don't know is that a large number of troops from the Ordinary League are surrounding them and accurately locking the location where the evil soul masters are gathered. The leader of the Ordinary League quickly arranged people to accurately surround the evil soul masters on all sides, and then the whole army attacked and wiped them out. Soon, the people had spread out on all sides. With the lifelong order of the leader of the Ordinary League, the next second, all the soul masters of the Ordinary League rushed out. Go. Wipe out this group of evil soul masters. Kill. Everyone rushed out from the bunker on the hillside, and Ye Guy led one of them and decisively killed them. Not good. Genuine attack, enemy attack. 8th Elder. We have been discovered, it is the people of the Ordinary Alliance who are coming to kill us. The charge of the Ordinary Alliance instantly made the group of hundreds of evil soul masters panic, and they didn't know how to respond for a while. The Ordinary Alliance seemed to have a lot of people, and their strength was far superior to theirs. The 8th Elder's face was very ugly and sinister. Damn it. Who leaked our whereabouts? Ordinary Alliance. It's you damn Ordinary Alliance again. You have repeatedly acted against our Holy Spirit Church, and today, you want to hinder my ceremony of breaking through the titled Douluo. I want all of you to come and never return. All die here. All of you go and kill them. But, 8th Elder, the number of the enemy seems to be far greater than ours. The evil soul believers felt that they could not win, and their fighting spirit was not strong. Number? Hectares, they don't have as many as us in terms of number. The 8th Elder of the Living Spirit Church sneered, and the next second, he used the terrifying evil soul method, and the black bread gas began to confuse the entire mountain. Come out. My army of undeads. Ah. Ha. The 8th Elder of the Holy Spirit Church screamed violently, and the terrifying power was released around his body. Immediately afterwards, the ground under his feet began to loosen a lot. Soon, a skeleton hand suddenly stretched out from the ground. This was a skeleton who had long been dead and turned into bones and crawled out from the ground. Following this skeleton, a large number of corpses and skeletons crawled out from the ground frantically. In just a few seconds, the number of skeletons exceeded 1,000. And this number is still increasing crazily. These are all the corpses of the army that died here 1,000 years ago. Now it has become the power of the 8th Elder of the Holy Spirit Church. He has injected a trace of evil soul power into the bones of these skeletons, giving them a certain combat ability. The stronger the skeletons were in their lives, the stronger they would be in battle. Even a very small number of skeletons have reached the level of soul saints. Your Ordinary League really like to meddle in other people's business. You like to eliminate our evil soul masters so much, right? Well, then your Ordinary League can wait to be destroyed by us. The 8th Elder was full of murderous intent, and he also wanted to destroy the Ordinary League. In the Wuhan Empire, the suppression of evil soul masters was very fierce, so evil soul masters basically could not survive in the Wuhan Empire. Because, as long as there are evil soul masters, there is no need for the Wuhan Empire or the Wuhan Hall to take action. Naturally, a large number of sects and soul master families will take the initiative to suppress and eliminate evil soul masters. Even everyone will work together to enforce justice. In the Wuhan Empire, eliminating evil soul masters is everyone's responsibility and a very conscious thing. But it is different in the Sunday and Moon Empire. The Sunday and Moon Empire has poor public security management. Many nobles, powerful people, and local officials are corrupt and do not care about things. A large part of the soul master forces, sects, and families in the Sunday and Moon Empire do not want to work hard and thankless to deal with evil soul masters on a large scale and eliminate evil forces. What benefit can they get from dealing with and eradicating them? Not only will there be no benefit, but it will also cause casualties among the soul masters of the sect, weakening the power of their own forces. You don't care, and I don't care either. There are many powerful sects and soul masters who are unwilling to do these thankless things. As a result, evil soul masters are rampant in the Sun Moon Empire, public security is in chaos, and all kinds of evil people are rampant. Only a very small number of soul master forces will wholeheartedly eliminate harm for the people and do their best to make the public security of the Sun Moon Empire better. Chapter 640. Holy Spirit Church. 1 Emperor, 2 Emperors, and 4 Heavenly Kings. The Ordinary League is one of these few soul master forces. It is also the strongest among these soul master forces that truly eliminate harm for the people. Therefore, the Ordinary League has long been the focus of the Holy Spirit Church. If it were not for the fear that attacking the Ordinary League would expose their Holy Spirit Church, the Holy Spirit Church would have already taken action to destroy the Ordinary League. Now the Ordinary League has attacked the Holy Spirit Church on a large scale again. This behavior is enough for the Holy Spirit Church to kill the Ordinary League. And the Holy Spirit Church does have enough terrifying power to destroy the Ordinary League. Because there are more than 20 titled Douluo strongmen alone. The Holy Spirit Church is the most terrifying and powerful soul master force hidden in the Sun and Moon Empire. It is also a powerful force on this continent, second only to the Spirit Hall. As for their power, the entire continent still knows nothing about it. The status and identity of the Holy Spirit Church are 1 Emperor, 2 Emperors, 4 Heavenly Kings, 12 Worshippers, and 8 Elders. This is the top figure of the Holy Spirit Church. He occupies a core position and huge power and voice in the Holy Spirit Church. He is also the strongest person in the church. All of these people are titled Douluo level masters, and there are even level 99 extreme Douluos. Among them, only the current 8th Elder is a level 89 soul Douluo, and the other Elders are also titled Douluos. This terrifying power can actually easily destroy the Ordinary Alliance. Kill them all. The 8th Elder of the Holy Leader Ord, and countless skeleton armies and hundreds of evil soul masters collectively killed the Ordinary Alliance that surrounded them from all sides. The two sides launched a war and fight. The first soul skill, Holy Light, shines everywhere. Ye Gai raised her long sword and pointed it to the sky. The next second, a golden light shone down in a wide range. In an instant, the ashes of all the skeletons around were annihilated. Her power also had absolute suppression power over these skeletons with evil soul power. But as the battle began, the skeletons that crawled out of the soil became more and more, and when the number was close to 10,000, they finally stopped. The Ordinary Alliance was surrounded on all sides, and it was originally to take advantage of the number of people to disperse and besiege the battle on all sides. But now the enemy's number is greater than ours, and their weight has weakened their overall strength. Ye Gai and the leader can barely hold on, but the other two were in trouble and are surrounded. Leader. What should we do? There are too many skeletons. We may not be able to handle it if this continues. Originally, they seemed to have an advantage, but after the skeleton army appeared, they were at a disadvantage for a while. The Ordinary Alliance understood that they underestimated the power of this group of evil soul masters. One of them actually cultivated to level 89. They had only heard of evil soul masters of this level, but had never really seen or encountered them. But the leader also saw that the evil soul master at level 89 seemed to be breaking through the titled Douluo realm. Once the evil soul master cultivated to level 90, it would be a huge threat. Today, he must be killed. The leader shouted with a serious face. Quickly gather around me from all directions, and use the sacred power of the bone clothes to destroy these skeleton armies on a large scale. The 8th Elder of the Holy Spirit Church also knew the threat that Ye Gai posed to them, and immediately ordered, "Kill that woman. Whoever can kill her is the trusted teacher of my 8th Elder." As soon as these words came out, a large number of evil soul masters began to besiege Ye Gai's direction, and Lanfuzi also killed Ye Gai among them. Sacred Angel Ye Gai, use your light to let me occupy a place in this Holy Spirit Church. Lanfuzi had just joined the Holy Spirit Church and didn't know any high-level people. This 8th Elder was the one with the highest status she had met. If she could become a trusted person around the 8th Elder, then she could quickly find the core group of the Holy Spirit Church. Then she would understand the true power of this Holy Spirit Church organization and practice to climb up. Martial Soul Possession. Deep Sea Demon Whale. The huge whale cry rang out, and the deep sea demon whale martial soul behind Lanfuzi appeared with an extremely powerful aura. If the deep sea demon whale is used as a martial soul, it is definitely a top beast martial soul. In addition, Lanfuzi's current soul power has been cultivated to the peak of level 69, and is about to enter the Soul Saint realm. Lanfuzi, who is only level 69, also has almost the same combat power as Soul Douluo. The most important thing is that although she has joined the Evil Soul Master organization, she is not an Evil Soul Master herself, and her power is not suppressed by Ye Gai's attribute power. First soul skill, Demon Whale Tyrant Body. Bang! Lan Fuzi's aura began to rise, and his speed and strength increased dramatically. The next second, he rushed directly to the front of the Evil Soul Master crowd and killed Ye Gai first. Ye Gai, give me your life. Hehe, you don't have the power of an Evil Soul Master. If you are not an Evil Soul Master, why do you want to be with this group of people? Ye Gai confronted Lan Fuzi's power head-on. Bang! The two sides clashed together. A large number of Evil Soul Masters and skeleton armies in the rear were absorbed, but they were also resisted by the Ordinary Alliance. In the melee, a fierce battle broke out between Ye Gai and Lan Fuzi. Fifth soul skill, Holy Sword. Ye Gai directly released her strongest soul skill. Her fifth soul skill was neither attack nor defense, but summoning a holy sword with the ultimate sacred attribute, a weapon, to enhance her combat power. In addition, Ye Gai was a sword cultivator who mastered the peak of intermediate sword intent. With this soul skill of summoning weapons, her combat power could actually be greatly improved. But Ye Gai was only a soul king after all, and was not the opponent of Lan Fuzi, who also had a cross-level combat power. Sixth soul skill, Demon Whale Deep Sea Palm. Lan Fuzi used his strongest sixth soul skill, attacked Ye Gai head-on, and severely injured Ye Gai with one palm. Puff! Ye Gai spit out a mouthful of blood and was instantly knocked out. Miss Ye. Seeing that Ye Gai was in a bad condition, the other Ordinary Alliance members wanted to support her, but they were temporarily restricted by the skeleton army and Evil Soul Masters in front of them. They were unable to rescue Ye Gai in time. Hehe, Ye Gai, if you were at the same soul power level as me, you might be able to fight me, but it's a pity that you're just a soul king and you are no match for me. Just die in my hands, Ye Gai. Lan Fuzi said confidently. You want to kill her? At this moment, an extremely sharp voice suddenly came from a distance with great penetrating power. Her. Lan Fuzi looked over and saw a handsome young man wearing black clothes holding a black sword on the hillside in the distance. Lan Fuzi's face changed slightly. It's him. I met him on the streets of Sun Moon City 2 years ago. Lan Fuzi and Shu Han only met once, but the impact was very profound. Chapter 641. Accept the baptism of holy light. Even now, Lan Fuzi still remembers Shu Han's face deeply. Shu Han. Why are you here? Ye Gai was extremely excited when she saw Shu Han. She was happy, delighted, and surprised. Her face was full of joy. Her eyes were full of thoughts and longing for Shu Han. She was moved to tears. She had been waiting for the scene of seeing Shu Han again for countless days and nights, but she didn't expect that it would be today, meeting again in such an environment and situation. Hehe, you two are lovers. Unfortunately, he is just a kid with 4 rings and can't save you. Lan Fuzi sneered and attacked Ye Gai again. Ye Gai stood up and continued to fight. Gyu, hold on, I'm coming. Shu Han was already rushing to kill, and dozens of skeletons were blocking him. Shu Han looked indifferent, and his sword intent was majestic. The first move of the God and Demon sword technique, the Sunday and Moon Demon God. Puff. Bang. Boom boom boom. Dozens of skeletons were instantly killed by Shu Han's sword, and their bones were broken. A long passage was cut in front of him. Wherever the power of the Sunday and Moon Demon God passed, there was nothing to stop him. Get out. Die. Shu Han rushed madly from a distance, and no one could stop him. He killed one by one and killed a group of people. He was like an invincible killing god, rushing all the way on the battlefield and killing people everywhere. At this time, 4 evil soul masters at the Soul King level targeted Shu Han and intercepted him at the same time. Third soul skill, God and Demon Phantom. Puff. 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 5 evil soul masters at the Soul King level were all killed instantly by Shu Han's move. Some of them had their heads chopped off, and some of them had their bodies cut into pieces. They died tragically and fell to the ground. Shu Han didn't even look at them, his eyes were full of indifference and coldness. Damn it. This kid is so strong. Let's go together. Killed him. Seeing this, the 3 evil soul masters and soul emperors not far ahead looked at each other and surrounded Shu Han at the same time. You guys think you can help me? All of you, die. Shu Han stayed where he was and closed his eyes. At this moment, a terrifying divine and demonic sword intent rose again, and the illusion around him seemed to change instantly, with the sun and the moon alternating. Senlao formation, sun and moon rotation. The second style of the Divine and Demon Sword technique, Divine and Demon Killing God Slash. Puff. Bang, boom. Ah! The three Soul Emperors were frightened by Shu Han's terrifying power and screamed in panic. The next second, the power of the sun and the moon condensed in Shu Han's whole body, and with his sword, he killed the three Soul Emperors again in an instant. With the tragic death of the three Soul Emperors, the evil Soul Masters around were all frightened, and for a while no one dared to step forward. There was no one who could stop Shu Han, so he rushed straight to the position of Ye Gai and Lan Fuzi. Shu Han's terrifying power and the charge just now all fell into Lan Fuzi's eyes, shocking her. What? A mere foreign soul sect is so powerful. Who is this guy? Lan Fuzi's eyes changed from disdain, shock, fear, to a bit of fear. She never expected that Shu Han, a foreign soul sect, would be so strong, and now he would kill her immediately. She must kill Ye Gai before Shu Han dares to come. Fifth soul skill, Wrath of the Demon Whale. Roar. The demon whale martial spirit appeared behind him, roaring loudly, with a terrifying sound wave impact, squeezing Ye Gai away. Gyu, retreat. But at this time, Shu Han had arrived in time, releasing the sword intent in his body, and directly releasing the sword intent to the limit. The high-level sword intent enveloped him. At that moment, Shu Han blocked in front of Ye Gai and countered Lan Fuzi's attack with one blow. Bang. Boom boom boom. The two energies of the two sides fought madly, trying to fight, and after a few seconds, they were repelled and dispersed at the same time. Shu Han came to Ye Gai's side in one fell swoop, and subconsciously held Ye Gai's jade hand, holding it tightly in his hand. Gai, are you okay? Feeling the warmth of Shu Han's palm, Ye Gai's face was already slightly red, because this was the first time that Shu Han held her hand. I'm fine, just a little injured, nothing serious. Shu Han, why are you here? I saw your letter and was worried about your safety, so I came. Shu Han said gently. Okay. Ye Gai felt sweet when she heard it, but now is not the time to talk about love. She came back to her senses from the joy and immediately said, Shu Han, the number of the other side skeleton army is too large. Now we must gather with the leader and others, and then use the sacred power to annihilate them in one fell swoop. Well, okay. Lan Fuzi heard Ye Gai. Shu Han would never let her go easily. But for the moment, the overall situation must be given priority. He nodded, took her hand and immediately led the people of the Ordinary Alliance around him to kill the leader. Damn it. This boy ruined my good thing. Lan Fuzi was very unwilling, but at this time, the people of the Ordinary League around him had gathered around Ye Gai. In addition, Shu Han was protecting her, so it was impossible to kill her for the time being. Shu Han led Ye Gai all the way to the leader's side. After a while, the Ordinary League that had been scattered in all directions gathered together again, and at this moment, all the Evil Soul Masters, including the skeletons summoned by the 89-level Evil Soul Master, also besieged them frantically from all directions. Kill them all. The 8th Elder of the Holy Spirit Church was still roaring wildly. Little did he know that his skeleton army was about to be annihilated. Everyone get closer to Ye Gai. The leader shouted loudly, and the Ordinary League gathered together to surround Ye Gai, almost standing densely together. The Holy Angel Martial Spirit reappeared, and Ye Gai released the power of her own sacred attributes to the extreme, and then used the third soul skill, Holy Light Salute. Accept the baptism of the Holy Light. The Holy Light was fully released from Ye Gai's body, expanding, and spreading out to a few hundred meters around her heart. At that moment, all the skeletons covered by the Holy Light were destroyed by the Holy Light. All the skeletons that rushed into the range of the Holy Light were also destroyed in an instant. Not only the skeletons, but also some low-level Evil Soul Masters were killed by this holy power. Nearly 10,000 skeletons were destroyed by Ye Gai's move, and less than 2,000 were left. More than half of the hundreds of Evil Soul Masters died, less than 50. The situation turned around in an instant, but Ye Gai's soul power was almost close to the limit because of the huge consumption of this wave. Beautiful Gai, you should have a good rest next, and leave the rest to us. Brother Shu Han, take good care of her. Chapter 642. Hunting for Lan Fuzi. Okay, leader. Shu Han nodded. All the people in the Alliance, follow me to annihilate this group of Evil Soul Masters. Kill. The leader of the Ordinary Alliance led the charge and killed the Evil Soul Master of level 89 inches the center. Damn Ordinary Alliance, kill. Kill them all for me. Seeing this, the 8th Elder of the Holy Spirit Church had to temporarily stop breaking through the titled Douluo, just a little bit away. Even if he was given another 10 minutes, he could break through from level 89 to level 90. This made him extremely angry, and he must kill the leader of the Ordinary Alliance today. He led the group of evil soul masters to attack and also killed them. But the 8th Elder of the Holy Spirit Church underestimated the strength of the leader of the Ordinary Alliance, who was a titled Douluo at level 95. The leader of the Ordinary Alliance directly confronted the 8th Elder of the Holy Spirit Church, and the two sides fought. It didn't take long for the 8th Elder of the Holy Spirit Church to be seriously injured by the leader of the Ordinary Alliance, and the other evil soul masters were also completely suppressed by the people of the Ordinary Alliance. Lan Fuzi saw that the situation was not good and found the right time to escape. She was fighting more and more in the crowd and was planning to fight her way out. Soon, she found the right time and killed several people from the Ordinary League who were fleeing the battlefield. Shu Han saw that Lan Fuzi was about to escape and had the idea of chasing him. Gu, the situation here is basically stable. It won't be long before these evil soul masters will be wiped out by Ordinary League people. You stay here, I'll go kill that woman. Shu Han's eyes were sharp. Ye Gai was a little worried. Shu Han, that woman is not simple and has strong strength. You may not be her opponent in the past, so don't take risks, right? You want to get away unscathed after being hurt, it's not that easy. I won't let anyone who hurt you go easily. Shu Han's words were full of boyfriend power. Ye Gai was fascinated on the spot, but when she reacted, Shu Han had already chased Lan Fuzi. Deep Sea Demon Whale Martial Spirit, could this woman be it? Shu Han chased after her madly, thinking in his heart. He chased Lan Fuzi because he heard Ye Gai, and because he suspected that Lan Fuzi had that kind of identity. How dare you chase me alone? Do you really think I'm afraid of you? Lan Fuzi saw Shu Han chasing her alone, with a bit of disdain in her eyes. She didn't think she couldn't beat Shu Han. But she didn't stop to kill Shu Han, but ran at full speed as fast as she could. Now she must stay away from the battlefield to prevent the evil soul master group from being wiped out and the Ordinary Alliance bringing people to kill her. She really can't escape. Although she is not an evil soul master, she has joined the evil soul master group after all. If she is caught, she will definitely not be spared by this group of chivalrous people. Chase me to the end if you have the guts. Lan Fuzi's speed did not appear at all, and her speed was not much slower than Shu Han. The two sides chased in this barren mountain, getting farther and farther away from the battlefield. After a long time, the battle between the Ordinary Alliance and the evil soul masters is ended. The 8th Elder of the Holy Spirit Church, a level 89 soul duo, was killed by the leader of the Ordinary Alliance. The leader of the Ordinary Alliance was also seriously injured, but he still worked with other allies to eliminate all the remaining evil soul masters. Only some evil soul masters were left for questioning, wanting to investigate the evil soul master forces behind them. But these evil soul masters are almost all ordinary believers of the Holy Spirit Church, and they don't know much about the Holy Spirit Church, and they don't know the core things at all. Moreover, the slightly middle-level believers are very stubborn. The die-hard Holy Spirit Church members committed suicide using special methods before the Ordinary Alliance people questioned them. Only those ordinary believers who were afraid of death learned some things from their mouths. They only knew that there was a hidden evil soul master force in the Sunday and Moon Empire, called the Holy Spirit Church, and that this Holy Spirit Church was secretly cultivating a group of evil soul masters. There were also some useless news. As for how strong this Holy Spirit Church was, who was the backer behind it, and where the stronghold was, the Ordinary Alliance had no idea. So far, all the evil soul masters were wiped out in this battle, and a high-level 8th Elder of the Holy Spirit Church also died. In this battle, a quarter of the Ordinary Alliance's men were killed or injured. It can be said that this was the most tragic battle since they punished the evil spirit master. On the other side, Shu Han had been chasing Lan Fuzi for 2 hours. They had already climbed over several mountains and were far away from the battlefield. How can this guy's physical strength be so terrifying? Doesn't he get tired? After running at a high-intensity limit for 2 hours, Lan Fuzi was already panting and feeling very tired. But she saw that Shu Han seemed to be in a relaxed state. This distance is about the same. If we kill him and then leave, the people of the Ordinary Alliance can't catch up with me. Lan Fuzi stopped running when he saw this. He stopped his steps instantly and turned to look at Shu Han. At this time, Shu Han also stopped running, holding the magic sword martial spirit in his hand and slowly walked towards Lan Fuzi. Finally, when the two sides were about 10 meters apart, he stopped where he was. Shu Han said lightly, "Don't run anymore." "No more running, no more running, I can't run anymore." Lan Fuzi waved his hand and panted loudly. Since you can't run anymore, let's fight, Shu Han said coldly. Hey, I just heard you dying, but I didn't kill her. Why are you chasing me so hard? Lan Fuzi said helplessly. Although you haven't mastered the method of practicing evil souls, you're a member of the evil soul master's real force. You are not a good person if you associate with evil soul masters. If you escape, it will only endanger more people. Hey, although I joined them, I didn't kill innocent people indiscriminately. Lan Fuzi said unconvinced. At present, she has not maliciously hurt anyone. Today's fight with the Ordinary Alliance is at most a hostile relationship, not a killing of innocent people. No need to say more, release your power and fight me. TSK, you don't think you can really kill me by yourself, right? Lan Fuzi said disdainfully. She could feel that Shu Han was very strong, but she was a level 69 Soul Emperor after all, and her combat power was far beyond most Soul Saints. Well, I think it's okay. Oh, you are so arrogant, then let me see how you are going to kill me. Lan Fuzi released the deep-sea demon whale martial spirit again. This time, Shu Han finally felt Lan Fuzi's breath and power up close. He carefully considered Lan Fuzi's face, which was very beautiful and had a good figure. After a closer look, Shu Han really felt that the girl in front of him was a big like the deep-sea demon whale king, one of the 5 great spirits of his father Chu Ye. At least he had a 6-point imagination. He had seen the demon whale king switch to a semi-human form. The semi-human form is that the body is endowed with some organs and characteristics of soul beasts, but the overall facial features and appearance are like a human. Therefore, Shu Han felt that Lan Fuzi was a big like the demon whale king, one of Chu Ye's spirits. Chapter 643. Identity exposed. You're indeed the daughter of the deep-sea demon whale king. But Shu Han was just guessing and not really sure. He asked, "What's your name? If you want to fight, then fight." "Why ask my name? I won't tell you. Take my move," Lan Fuzi said, and he came over directly. First soul skill, magic sword slash. Seeing this, Shu Han had no choice but to take action. Stop. Bang. Lan Fuzi easily avoided it and punched directly. Shu Han also slashed with a sword, and the two sides clashed again. A man and a woman, the two of them, in this jungle, started a fierce fight and battle. The two sides attacked and I defended, switching back and forth, and it was hard to tell who was better. Lan Fuzi's fighting skills and consciousness were also extremely powerful. After all, it was a 100,000-year-old sea soul beast incarnation. They can often switch to a semi-human form and go ashore for a short time, so they can adapt to human body fighting. In addition, now that he has transformed and recultivated into the human world for so many years, Lan Fuzi's fighting ability is also very powerful. But he is still not as good as the terrifying Shu Han. He has never lost in battle and has never had an opponent. After several rounds of perfect swordplay, Lan Fuzi was beaten back step by step, and finally forced back Lan Fuzi with one sword. Bang. Boom. Lan Fuzi was beaten back several meters by the sword. He stabilized his body, covered his chest and looked ugly. It's absurd, how can this guy's fighting ability be so strong? He is obviously only a foreign soul master. In addition to the battle with those people from the Ordinary Alliance just now, I have consumed a lot of soul power. I'm afraid I can't be his opponent now. Lan Fuzi wanted to retreat again. Fourth soul skill, Demon Sword 36 slashes. Ushu. But at this time, Shu Han's fierce attack had already resumed, and he attacked head-on with a sword. What a fast speed. Fourth soul skill, Demon Whale Shield. Seeing Lan Fuzi using soul skills to defend against his move, Shu Han smiled in his heart. Once the Demon Sword 36 slashes hits the front once, it cannot be avoided and can only be blocked. Even if it is blocked with defensive soul skills, it is still an effective first strike. When the first slash hit the shield of the demon whale, although it could not break Lan Fuzi's defensor, Shu Han's continuous slashing had already begun. Second slash. Third slash. Fourth slash. Seventh slash. Ninth slash. 10th continuous slash. Bang, bang, bang. Shu Han's figure was like a black shadow, constantly slashing at the shield of the demon whale. The faster he slashed, the stronger his power became. It was also at the 10th slash that the shield of the demon whale was finally broken. Bang. Boom. At that moment, Lan Fuzi also reacted quickly, trying to keep a distance to the maximum to avoid Shu Han's continuous slashing range. But the strange thing was that she could not escape Shu Han's attack range, and the opponent's body slashed again at a strange speed. How is it possible? Not good. Puff. Lan Fuzi's arm was slashed hard by a sword. How could this happen? I can't avoid his combo at all. I can only passively defend against such a terrible soul skill. Lan Fuzi found that no matter how she struggled, it was useless. Shu Han's continuous slashing would come in the next second. 13 consecutive cuts. 18 consecutive cuts. 20 consecutive cuts. Puff. 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 Lan Fuzi began to be more and more unable to resist. She was hit by a sword almost every time she blocked 3 swords. The speed, strength and power of the following swords were stronger and faster. 25th consecutive cut. I will die if this continues. I will die in his hands. Lan Fuzi was scared. There is no other way. Even if my soul beast identity is exposed, it is better than dying. Lan Fuzi gritted her teeth and decided to use her last trump card, the soul beast power of her native body of the deep-sea demon whale. The power of the demon whale. Roar. At this moment, a terrifying soul beast power was released from Lan Fuzi. Her body and face were instantly covered with a thick layer of deep-sea demon whale skin, which possessed the characteristics of a soul beast. Lan Fuzi's power instantly increased several times, and she truly reached the combat power equivalent to the soul duo level. This power was borrowed from the body, the power of the deep-sea demon whale sea soul beast. Generally speaking, after a soul beast changes its form and cultivates again, its cultivation level will be reset to 0 and it will become a 6-year-old human child to cultivate again. It can no longer use the power of the soul beast. But Lan Fuzi can. She has mastered a special secret method that can mobilize part of the power of the deep-sea demon whale's body, which can greatly improve its combat power, similar to its own strengthening and amplification skills. But this secret method is actually not something that Lan Fuzi, a deep-sea demon whale of the 100,000-year level, can research. It is a secret method created by Lan Fuzi's mother, the Demon Emperor, who was a deep-sea demon whale that is infinitely close to 1,000,000 years old. She knew that her daughter had to change her form and cultivate again, and enter the human world to cultivate. Therefore, in order to give her daughter more self-protection ability, the Demon Emperor developed a method that can borrow part of the power of the soul beast's body after changing her form. However, this secret method will expose the identity of the soul beast and will be accompanied by the breath of the soul beast's body. When Lan Fuzi released the power of the demon whale, Shu Han instantly realized, "You're indeed a soul beast. The body is a deep-sea demon whale. You were a deep-sea demon whale. What, you? You actually knew my identity a long time ago." Lan Fuzi was also shocked when he heard it. She has cultivated to the Soul Emperor realm. After a soul beast cultivates to the Soul Emperor realm, even the top title Douluo can hardly recognize it. She was actually recognized by a soul sect with 4 rings. How did this guy see it? How did he do it? Shu Han felt too mysterious to Lan Fuzi, full of fog, and it was difficult to figure out his details. The 30th consecutive cut. The 34th consecutive cut. The 35th consecutive cut. The 36th consecutive cut. Puff. The last cut once again hit Lan Fuzi with a heavy sword. This sword made Lan Fuzi seriously injured, but she also successfully blocked all of Shu Han's moves. Using the power of Shu Han's last sword, Lan Fuzi turned around and fled at that moment. After releasing the power of the magic whale, she might have a chance to kill Shu Han. But Shu Han was too mysterious and made her feel unsure. If this guy also hit some trump cards, it would be difficult to deal with. She couldn't take the risk of killing Shu Han. She fled decisively and ran very fast. After the release of the power of the demon whale, Shu Han could no longer keep up with Lan Fuzi's speed. The distance between the two sides widened, and they ran to the edge of a cliff. Lan Fuzi chose to jump directly from the cliff. "Remember my name? My name is Lan Fuzi. Wait, I will come back to settle accounts with you." Lan Fuzi's voice echoed far away, and her figure was getting farther and farther away. Shu Han stood on the edge of the cliff and did not choose to jump down, muttering softly, "Lan Fuzi, she is indeed Uncle Whale's daughter." If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novel, as there you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 644. What if the person who colluded with the Holy Spirit Church is the Sunday and Moon Emperor? Shu Han was naturally familiar with the 5 great gods of his father Chu Ye. After Chu Ye pacified the god realm and eradicated the god of cholera, Shura god. The god realm was peaceful, and the 5 great gods, the demon whale king, the snow emperor, the ice emperor, the titan giant ape, and the soft-bone rabbit, also established their own divine domains. They are the demon whale divine domain, the ice and snow divine domain, the ice scorpion divine domain, the titan divine domain, and the soft-bone divine domain. These 5 divine domains are located around the divine domain of Chu Ye's dragon god. When Shu Han was young, he would often go to play with those gods. Once he learned from the demon whale king that the demon whale king also had a wife, the demon emperor, and a daughter named Lanfozi. This is why she asked Lanfozi's name before, and when she said her own name. Shu Han can finally be 100% sure that the woman who escaped in front of him is the daughter of the demon whale king. I didn't expect that Uncle Whale's daughter also transformed and rebuilt, and joined the forces of the evil soul master. What is her purpose in coming to the human world? Shu Han guessed in his heart, and there was no accurate answer. He didn't know that Lanfozi had transformed and rebuilt in order to avenge his father, the demon whale king, and to destroy the Wihun Empire and the Wihun Hall. Lanfozi, no matter what your purpose is in entering the human world, if you continue to cause trouble to the people, even if you're Uncle Whale's daughter, I will not easily forgive you next time I see you. Shu Han looked at him silently, retracted his gaze, turned around and left to return to the battlefield just now. At this moment, Ye Gai also took some people from the Ordinary Alliance to look for Shu Han. The 2 sides finally met on the way. Shu Han. Seeing that Shu Han was safe, Ye Gai rushed over and threw himself into Shu Han's arms, hugging him tightly. You worried me to death, silly. What's there to worry about? Shu Han's stiff hands hesitated for a moment and slowly hugged Ye Gai, gently rubbing her head. That woman is not simple. I'm worried that something will happen to you, Ye Gai said with a wrong look. It's okay, since I chose to chase her, I am sure I can come back alive. Don't worry, Gai, I won't do anything reckless. Shu Han said gently. Just now, the situation was urgent and he didn't have time to talk to Ye Gai for a long time. Now everything has calmed down temporarily. He looked at the woman in his arms and smiled gently. Gai, I haven't seen you for 2 years. Well, you have changed a lot in the past 2 years, Shu Han. Ye Gai looked at the more mature and handsome Shu Han, his face turned red, and his heart beat fast. 2 years ago, Shu Han was 13 years old. At this age, he was still in that stage of development. 2 years later, when he was 15 years old, Shu Han not only grew taller, but his facial features became more 3-dimensional and delicate, and he became more handsome, mature, and masculine. With a charming man's flavor, Ye Gai's heart was moved. But in fact, Shu Han himself didn't feel much. He had changed a lot. Really? Have you really changed a lot? Well, taller, more handsome, and more charming. Ye Gai said shyly. Well, it seems to be true. Shu Han only then noticed that he was almost the same height as Ye Gai 2 years ago, but now he is obviously taller. At this time, Ye Gai talked about business. Where is that woman Shu Han? She escaped. Okay. Gai, did you get any useful information from this battle? Shu Han asked. Ye Gai sighed and shook his head. There is no very useful information, but it is certain that there is indeed a very strong soul master force in the Sun Moon Empire, which is secretly cultivating evil soul masters. They are called the Holy Spirit Church. Holy Spirit Church? Shu Han muttered. Yes, after this battle, we, the Ordinary Alliance, now seriously suspect that this Holy Spirit Church has a very close connection with the royal family of the Sun Moon Empire. Even the person in a high position may be a minister or a royal prince. Ye Gai said solemnly. What? Shu Han's face changed. If the royal family of the Sun Moon Empire is involved, then things may become more serious. Are you sure that there is collusion with the royal family of the Sun Moon Empire? Shu Han also became serious and asked. He knew very well that if the Holy Spirit Church had a deep connection with the imperial family, then if the Ordinary League continued to suppress the evil Soul Master and the Holy Spirit Church, it might be very dangerous. The current era is different from the past. Especially on the Sun Moon Empire side, the Soul Guide technology mastered is much stronger than the Wihun Empire, and the imperial military equipment is not weak. In the era of 10,000 years ago, a titled Douluo might be able to fight an army and kill all the troops in the army, but now if every soldier holds a Soul Guide gun, and various Soul Guide shells, crazy bombard you, a titled Douluo will be killed soon. If the Holy Spirit Church of this evil soul master wants to unite with the prince of the royal family and other people of high status, then the ordinary league will not be able to withstand it, and there is a high probability that it will be wiped out. It's basically 90% certain. Shu Han, do you still remember the stronghold of a group of evil soul masters that we wiped out together 2 years ago? The token you found on that evil soul master, when we handed it over to the royal family of the Sun Moon Empire, the royal family did make an effort. But they didn't produce any practical and effective results at all. They even pretended to investigate for a while, and then let it go and ignored the matter. We didn't think much about it at the time, but now thinking back, it was after the token was handed over to the royal family that we discovered the strongholds of evil soul masters many times and wanted to unite with the empire to wipe out the evil soul masters' strongholds together. But many times, it seemed as if they had known about it in advance, and the group of evil soul masters slipped away. And the operations to eliminate evil soul masters that we did not participate in with the Sun Moon Empire were almost always successful, but most of the operations with the Sun Moon Empire failed. This time we found a large evil soul master stronghold here. Although we knew that if we used the power of the Ordinary League to eliminate it, there might be considerable damage, but we did not notify the Sun Moon Empire. We acted secretly on our own. It's just that I'm afraid that after telling the Sun Moon Empire, the operation will fail again. The results prove that the Holy Spirit Church must have close ties with the Sun Moon Empire's royal family. Ye Guy said. The leader decided to go back and secretly meet with the Sun Moon Emperor, tell him the truth, remove those who are secretly connected with the Holy Spirit Church in the royal family, and then find out who is behind it. Shu Han thought about it. He was silent for a long time and said, Gu, what if the person who colluded with the Holy Spirit Church is the Emperor of the Sun Moon Empire? The Holy Spirit Church colluded with the Emperor of the Sun Moon Empire. Ye Guy had never thought about this. Chapter 645 Late at night, Ye Guy. Shu Han, come to my room and sit down. Ye Guy was stunned for a moment and shook his head. It's unlikely, right? How could the Emperor of the Sun Moon Empire collude with the evil spirit masters and let the evil spirit masters disrupt the order of his own empire? Shu Han actually didn't quite believe that a lord of an empire would secretly support evil spirit masters to disrupt the peace, order, and people of his own empire, but he could make this assumption. The possibility is indeed small, but everything is possible. What if it is true? If the Emperor of the Sun Moon Empire really colluded with the Holy Spirit Church in secret, then, your Ordinary League will tell the Sun Moon Empire the news you have learned. What will your Ordinary League face? Shu Han said seriously. Ye Guy said with a heavy heart, if this is the case, then our Ordinary League may be suddenly wiped out one day. So Guy, this matter concerns the fate and safety of your entire Ordinary League. I suggest that your leader wait a while and don't rush to meet the Sun Moon Emperor. Wait until I go back and inform the Wihun Hall of this matter, and let the Wihun Hall secretly investigate before making plans. Shu Han said. During the 3 years at the Spirit Hall Academy, Shu Han actually knew that the Spirit Hall would also intervene in the affairs of other empires. Since its existence, the Spirit Hall has always maintained order and peace on the continent, especially the suppression of the evil Soul Master group, which is very intense. The Spirit Hall is not only responsible for the affairs within the Spirit Empire, but also for other empires to quell the cholera. When an empire does nothing, or when the local officials of a city do not take care of things, the Spirit Hall will send its own people to quell the cholera and eradicate the gangsters, villains, including the evil Soul Masters. However, when the affairs of other empires are heard by the Spirit Hall, they have basically been doing evil for a while. The action will not be very timely, but the Spirit Hall will take action. If the Spirit Hall knows that there is a strong evil Soul Master force in the Sunday and Moon Empire, the Spirit Hall will definitely take action to sanction it. After all, if this evil Soul Master force is allowed to develop, it will not only threaten the Sunday and Moon Empire in the future, but also the Spirit Empire. Eradicating evil forces is for themselves and for the entire Douluo Continent. Okay, we'll discuss it with the leader later. Ye Guy nodded. The two of them walked towards the Ordinary Alliance while communicating and chatting. After a long time, the two sides met. Shu Han and Ye Guy told the leader about this matter. The leader of the Ordinary Alliance thought about it and agreed with Shu Han's idea, not to tell the Sunday and Moon Empire for the time being. Shu Han, come back with us first. Yeah, okay. A few days later, Shu Han came to the Ordinary Alliance as a guest again, staying in the same room as before, next to Ye Guy's room. Shu Han stayed here temporarily. He practiced with Ye Gai every day, exchanged swordsmanship, and discussed swordsmanship in depth. Before the end of the holiday, he planned to stay in the ordinary alliance with Ye Gai for a while. Time flew by. More than 20 days later. Ye Gai's sword intent also comprehended the level of advanced sword intent, and there were only 3 days left in the holiday. Shu Han decided to return to the Wihun Hall Academy tomorrow, and after returning, he would inform the Wihun Hall about the Holy Spirit Church. At night, Shu Han and Ye Gai lay on the bed in their own room, tossing and turning, unable to fall asleep. The nearly 1 month of getting along has made their relationship more intimate and ambiguous. Although they are not in the name of a couple, they are better than a couple. They are also like a couple, except that they still have to break through the thin layer of sand between them. But tomorrow they will separate again. That night, both of them thought for a long time in bed and decided to express their feelings to each other. Almost at the same time, Shu Han and Ye Gai got out of bed, opened the door to the room, and walked out. Shu Han. You haven't slept yet? The two met as soon as they went out. Ye Gai was wearing a set of white sexy pajamas, with her snow-white thighs exposed. The dress was tightly attached to her body, showing her perfect figure lines to the fullest, and her slightly slender figure was looming. It was very charming, and Shu Han couldn't help swallowing his throat. At this moment, it was more than 11 o'clock in the evening. I can't sleep. Me too. Ye Gai's face was slightly red, and she asked shyly, would you like to sit in my room? To your room? Okay. Shu Han was a little embarrassed and hesitated, and suddenly thought of something exciting in his mind. Then let's go in. Ye Gai opened his door again and walked back to the room, and Shu Han followed him in. The door closed. There was a faint fragrance in the room, a faint fragrance from a young girl. Do it here, Shu Han. Ye Gai blushed and sat on the edge of the bed. Looking at the charming Ye Gai in sexy pajamas sitting on the edge of the bed, Shu Han's heartbeat suddenly accelerated, and his heart couldn't help but get nervous. He slowly sat next to Ye Gai. There were only 2 people in the room, a single man and a single woman in the same room. They sat together, the atmosphere was very subtle, and there was also a hint of embarrassment. But both of them were brewing how to express their feelings to each other, and they subconsciously moved a little closer to each other. But this point of the two made Shu Han and Ye Gai's bodies touch each other, and their thighs were tightly pressed together. So white. So smooth. Looking at Ye Gai's charming thighs, Shu Han took a deep breath in his heart. He was also wearing pajamas, which was a kind of shorts, almost body to body, so he could clearly feel the temperature of Ye Gai's thighs and the smoothness and tenderness of the skin on her legs. Coupled with the body fragrance from Ye Gai's body, Shu Han was uneasy for a while. At the moment of touching Shu Han, Ye Gai's very sensitive body trembled slightly, and made a shy sound. The sound completely awakened the beast in Shu Han's heart that belonged to men. He instantly grabbed Ye Gai's hand that was pressed on the hand, and then looked at Ye Gai's beautiful face with great affection. Shu Han. Ye Gai also turned his head and looked at Shu Han's face. The two faced each other, looking at each other affectionately. At this moment, both of them were extremely nervous, and their heartbeats were accelerating wildly. Their faces slowly moved closer, 30 centimeters, 20 centimeters, 10 centimeters, 5 centimeters. Finally, their noses touched each other. At this time, their breathing became rapid, and the rapid breathing made Ye Gai's chest rise and fall slightly. Shu Han took a look and couldn't help it. He kissed Ye Gai's lips instantly. Ye Gai didn't resist, she closed her eyes and let Shu Han kiss her. The two of them completely fell into it and couldn't extricate themselves. Chapter 646. Bad news came, the ordinary alliance was destroyed. But if you really want to know, I'll tell you now. Shu Han said very seriously. Unexpectedly, Ye Gai was very straightforward. Okay, let's wait until we cultivate to the title Douluo level, hilly. The two chatted for a long time, and the time had come to 2 o'clock in the morning. Shu Han said a little sleepily. It's getting late, let's go to bed. Okay. The two hugged each other, they were also very tired, and fell asleep after lying for a while. Ye Gai fell asleep first and lay on Shu Han's chest. Looking at the woman who had fallen asleep in his arms, Shu Han smiled and fell asleep tiredly. The next morning, Shu Han packed up his luggage early and prepared to leave. He kissed Ye Gai's forehead gently, said goodbye and left. 2 days later, Shu Han returned to the Wihun Hall Academy. The vacation was over, and he returned again. Liu Yao was already a 4th-year student, and Shu Han directly entered the inner courtyard and reported to become an inner courtyard student. just entered the inner courtyard. Xu Han was the strongest among all the inner courtyard students, because he had defeated all the inner courtyard students long before. Xu Han immediately told the inner courtyard dean about the Holy Spirit Church in the Sun Moon Empire. The inner courtyard dean did not dare to neglect it and immediately reported it to the Pope of the Spirit Hall, who was also the Emperor of the Spirit Empire. This matter instantly attracted the attention of the Spirit Hall, and immediately sent people to the Sun Moon Empire to secretly investigate the Holy Spirit Church and the royal family of the Sun Moon Empire. Find out the Holy Spirit Church and the royal family that colluded with the Holy Spirit Church. The Spirit Hall began to intervene in this matter, and Xu Han did not continue to pay too much attention. With his current identity and strength, the current task is to practice and become stronger, which is the most important thing. Without sufficient strength, he can't help much. After entering the inner courtyard to practice, it is different from the outer courtyard. The outer courtyard is basically limited to practicing in the academy, while the inner courtyard's practice is mostly carried out in the academy. But the intensity of practice is higher, and you have to go out to practice at the same time. Even from time to time, you have to go out to command tasks, start to contact society, contact the Soul Master world, and carry out some tasks and actual combat to eliminate evil. In other words, the inner courtyard begins to enter the real actual combat stage, a real battle between life and death, so there is a mortality rate in the inner courtyard. However, this is the training process that Xu Han needs. On the other side, in the Holy Spirit Church, at this moment, all the powerful titled Douluo-level masters of the Holy Spirit Church have gathered. The one emperor, the two emperors, the 4 heavenly kings, the 12 priests, all gathered together, and the 8 elders, except for the 8th elder who was killed by the Ordinary Alliance, the other 7 have also come. They are gathering together to talk about the 8th elder being killed by the Ordinary Alliance. One of the 4 heavenly kings said angrily, "Master, this Ordinary Alliance usually kills some of our ordinary believers, but this time it even killed all 8 of our elders. It's time for us to take action. Can we still endure this?" Several of the 12 priests reconsidered. "Yes. Master, the Ordinary Alliance has probably learned a lot about us. If they continue, our Holy Spirit Church may be exposed. It's better to go all out and eradicate the Ordinary Alliance once and for all." "Yes. Master. Destroy the Ordinary Alliance. These guys are really an eyesore. We can't tolerate it anymore." Everyone had a strong desire to destroy the Ordinary Alliance. The leader of the Holy Spirit Church remained silent. After a moment, he slowly said, "Then let the Ordinary League disappear completely from this continent. Devil King, you'll lead the 2 priests and 7 elders to make a move and make the Ordinary League disappear completely. Remember, I want to do it without anyone noticing and make them disappear overnight." "He, I understand, leader." In the hall, everyone laughed evilly. Whether it was Xu Han or the Ordinary League, they were far from knowing the power of the Holy Spirit Church. Xu Han also had no idea that the Holy Spirit Church was ready to take action against the Ordinary League. He practiced in the inner courtyard as usual and kept in touch with Ye Guy through letters. About a month later, Xu Han's soul power finally broke through from level 49 to level 50 and entered the realm of Soul King. Under the guidance of the teacher of the outer courtyard, he was given a circle of soul rings that were nearly 70,000 years old. Xu Han's soul power rose from level 50 to level 54 inches one fell swoop. With a level 54 soul ring at the age of 15, coupled with such a configuration of soul rings absorbed beyond the level, Xu Han's genius has attracted the attention of the core courtyard. Originally, the core academy planned to let Xu Han practice in the inner academy for 2 or 3 years. Now it seems that Xu Han should be promoted to the core academy at the end of this year. My soul power has reached level 54. It has been raised from level 29 to level 54 inches 3 years. A total of 25 levels in 3 years is fast enough, but it needs to be faster. Xu Han silently clenched his fists. Xu Han has not been very hard at practice. He does not care much about the improvement of soul power. He prefers to challenge others and focus on fighting. However, the improvement of soul power is the most critical part of becoming stronger. It is also the fastest way to improve combat power. Since he learned about the existence of evil soul masters such as the Holy Spirit Church, he has begun to focus on the improvement of soul power. Next, he does not plan to continue to challenge the core disciples. He plans to impact his soul power to level 55 first. But at this time, the inner academy teacher who led Xu Han to practice came with a teacher from the core academy and delivered a bad news. At this moment, the core academy teacher Yutian, a level 93 titled Luo, Wihun Snake Spear, is also one of the ordinary elders of the Wihun Hall. Yutian came to Shu Han and told him the bad news. Classmate Shu Han, the Spirit Hall just received news that the Ordinary League was attacked by a mysterious force 2 days ago. The Ordinary League was wiped out overnight and no longer exists. What did you say? The Ordinary League was wiped out. Upon hearing the news, Shu Han felt as if a clear sky had struck the earth, and a huge mountain instantly pressed down on his heart, making it difficult for him to breathe. He grabbed Yutian's arm nervously and said excitedly, "Are all the people in the Ordinary League dead? Why is this happening? Where is Yi Gai? Have you seen Yi Gai from the Ordinary League? You are talking about the girl with the Holy Angel Spirit. All the people in the Ordinary League that night were killed. We in the Spirit Hall have noticed that girl, but we have not seen her body." Yutian shook his head. Since he did not see Yi Gai's body, it at least means that there is still a possibility of her being alive. Shu Han's tense heart relaxed a little, but it was only a possibility of her being alive. Chapter 647. Earth Dragon Gate, searching for Yi Gai's whereabouts. Holy Spirit Church. If anything happens to Yi Gai, I, Shu Han, will make you pay a heavy price. Shu Han's eyes were extremely cold and full of murderous intent. He turned and left immediately. Shu Han, where are you going? Stop right there. Shu Han was a rare genius in the Spirit Hall. He would soon be a core student and was the object of much attention and training from the top leaders of the Spirit Hall. Yutian would not let Shu Han leave casually. He immediately stood in front of Shu Han. Get out of here. Shu Han, calm down. Yutian directly controlled Shu Han and persuaded him. Although no one in the Ordinary League survived that night, there are still nearly 10% of the Ordinary League members who were out training and performing tasks, and those who handle the League's industries. That girl may be fine. Don't be impulsive. Whether it is looking for the girl with the Holy Angel Spirit or seeking revenge on the Holy Spirit Church, how much can you do alone? Stay in the Academy first, and our people from the Spirit Hall Academy will send some masters to find Yi Gai. Yutian tried his best to persuade Shu Han. The Ordinary League was wiped out, and the Spirit Hall was basically the first to arrive at the scene. Judging from the tragic situation of the battle in the Ordinary League and the various signs left at the scene, they all carried the power of the Evil Spirit Master, indicating that it was the work of the Holy Spirit Church. There is no doubt that the Ordinary League was wiped out by the Holy Spirit Church. Even after the investigation and speculation of the Spirit Hall, it is highly likely that no one from the Sunday and Moon Empire participated in the destruction of the Ordinary League. In other words, the power that destroyed the Ordinary League was only the Holy Spirit Church. There are many Soul Masters on this continent who can kill the Ordinary League. But to kill the Ordinary League silently overnight, and no one can escape from the League, including the leaders, is something that few Soul Masters on the entire continent can do. This undoubtedly proves that the Holy Spirit Church is far more powerful than the Spirit Hall imagined. The probability of Yi Gai surviving is very low. Even if she is still alive, she will definitely be the target of the Holy Spirit Church's key eradication. I'm afraid they are also searching for Yi Gai on a large scale. Even if Shu Han finds Yi Gai, it will be difficult to take her away from the dangerous area, and she may even be hunted down by the Holy Spirit Church. Therefore, the Spirit Hall must send a large number of masters to carry out and protect the search for Yi Gai. Shu Han was a little quiet, his eyes still full of worry and uneasiness. When will our Spirit Hall people set off? Take me with you. I must go. The reason I told you this is that I plan to take you to the Sunday and Moon Empire. You have a good relationship with Yi Gai, right? If she is still alive, maybe you can know where she is. Yutian said. Shu Han suddenly thought of a place. Earth Dragon Gate. He had heard Yi Gai say that she had a good sister named Nanki, who was the daughter of the master of the Earth Dragon Gate, and the two had a very good relationship. The strength of the Earth Dragon Gate was about the same as that of the Ordinary Alliance. If Yi Gai was seeking refuge, he would most likely be in the Earth Dragon Gate. Earth Dragon Gate? Okay, His Holiness the Pope has been gathering people. Tomorrow we will go to the Sun Moon Empire Earth Dragon Gate to find Yi Gai. Shu Han, you must stay in the academy tonight and follow our people when the sun rises. Do you understand? Yutian reminded him specifically. The Spirit Hall is willing to send a large number of masters and even several titled Luo to find Yi Gai. First, because Yi Gai's spirit is a holy angel, the Spirit Hall has a good impression of angel-like spirits and can restrain evil spirit masters. If he can survive and be found and brought back, the spirit hall will naturally support and cultivate him vigorously. Second, the most important point is that the spirit hall wants to use Ye Gai's hand. To put it bluntly, it is to use Ye Gai as bait to lure out the evil spirit master behind him. The spirit hall guessed that if Ye Gai was still alive, the Holy Spirit Church would definitely not let go of the holy angel spirit that had the absolute power to restrain the evil spirit master. After all, if Ye Gai grew up, he would be a great threat to the evil spirit master. Therefore, the Holy Spirit Church tried every means to get rid of Ye Gai, so when the people at the Holy Spirit Church took action against Ye Gai, the Spirit Hall could secretly guard Ye Gai, capture the high-level members of the Holy Spirit Church for interrogation, understand the Holy Spirit Church, and finally catch them all in one fell swoop. I know. Shu Han responded verbally, but now his woman's life and death were clear. He really couldn't stay for a moment, and his heart was extremely worried, which made him very uncomfortable. Gai, please don't get into trouble. In the evening, Shu Han set out alone. Without listening to Yu Tian's dissuasion, he quietly left the Spirit Hall Academy and went to the Dragon Gate of the Sunday and Moon Empire to find the whereabouts of Ye Gai. Shu Han's actions were actually under the control of the teachers of the Core Academy of the Spirit Hall. At this moment, Yu Tian also had the Dean of the Core Academy of the Spirit Hall, Jin Changfen, the Spirit King of the Golden Crocodile, and the descendant of the Golden Crocodile Douluo. Jin Changfen, whose soul power is currently level 97, is the Dean of the Core Academy of the Spirit Hall, but he is not among the 7 Great Priests. The lowest soul power of the 7 Great Priests of the Spirit Hall is now level 98. This kid is really disobedient. Dean, I will go and catch him back. Yu Tian was about to take action, but was stopped by Jin Changfen. Forget it, let him go first. Yu Tian, you also go first to protect him secretly. When he arrives at the Earth Dragon Gate, our people will almost arrive. This. Oh, okay. Yu Tian sighed helplessly, nodded, and followed Shu Han secretly. Shu Han changed into a hooded coat, put on the coat and hood, and secretly went to the Earth Dragon Gate. Shu Han was also present when the Ordinary Alliance of the Desolate Mountain killed the 8th Elder of the Holy Spirit Church. Shu Han's face might have been remembered by the Holy Spirit Church, so he had to be careful. The next day, early in the morning, the Spirit Hall had gathered its people and set off early. The Dean of the Core Academy, Jin Changfen, personally led nearly 10 titled Douluo and many Spirit Hall Spirit Masters to the Sun Moon Empire. When Shu Han arrived at the city where the Earth Dragon Gate was located, the Spirit Hall's people had already secretly arrived in the city. At this moment, in the Earth Dragon Gate, the leader of the Earth Dragon Gate was sitting on the seat of the leader, and a disciple in front of him was kneeling on one knee. Report to the leader, there is a young man named Shu Han from the Spirit Hall Academy who wants to see you. Shu Han? The face of the Earth Dragon Gate leader changed, and he immediately said, quick. Let him in. Yes. A moment later, Shu Han, led by this person, came to the main hall of the Earth Dragon Gate. Shu Han ran to the Delongman sect master anxiously, wanting to confirm whether Ye Gai was here. He hurriedly said, Junior Shu Han, I'm honored to meet the Delongman sect master. I want to know. Before Shu Han finished speaking, he was interrupted by the Delongman sect master. Don't be anxious, young man. Come with me first. Chapter 648. Spirit Hall takes action to capture the top leaders of the Holy Spirit Church. Seeing the look on the face of the Delongman leader, Shu Han understood and was a little excited. He calmed down and nodded. Okay, Delongman leader. Shu Han followed behind that Delongman leader silently. He didn't ask anything along the way. He just followed him silently and then entered an underground secret room. This basement was also very large. After walking for a while, the Delongman leader stopped at the door of a room and said, Young man, open the door yourself. Shu Han took a deep breath and opened the door. He was shocked to see Ye Gai standing there, and next to him stood another girl, who was also very beautiful. This girl was Qian Renxue. Although Shu Han had already thought that Ye Gai was most likely in the Delongman when he met the leader of the Delongmen, Shu Han could not let it go until he saw Ye Gai in person. At this moment, Shu Han's inattention, pressure, fear, and worry were completely relieved, and he felt as if a heavy burden had been lifted from his heart. This time, he was more excited and happy than ever before. Shu Han. Shu Han instantly rushed to Ye Gai and hugged her tightly in his arms. Ye Gai, who was held in Shu Han's arms, could not help but vent her emotions that had been suppressed for a long time, and burst into tears. Shu Han, the Ordinary Alliance is gone, gone. The leader, the deputy leader, and everyone in my alliance were killed by the hateful Holy Spirit Church. She was already very strong, and had been holding back her emotions in the past few days after the incident. But when she saw Xu Han, she couldn't help it, and vented all her uncomfortable emotions, crying loudly. Xu Han hugged her silently, and seeing Yi Gai crying so sadly, his heart was also as painful as a broken heart. Gai, things have come to this point, and no matter how sad you are, it cannot be undone. You should adjust your mentality, cheer up, and work hard to practice and become stronger. Completely eradicate the Holy Spirit Church hidden behind the Sunday and Moon Empire, and avenge the Ordinary Alliance. Xu Han comforted Yi Gai's emotions, and secretly swore in his heart, Holy Spirit Church, no matter how powerful you are, I, Xu Han, will one day uproot you and make you completely disappear from this continent. Upon seeing this, Nankikia quietly left the room, leaving Xu Han and Yi Gai alone. After a long time, when Yi Gai's emotions gradually stabilized, Xu Han said seriously, Gai, now that the Ordinary League is gone, it is very dangerous for you to continue staying in the Sun-Moon Empire. I'm afraid that the Earth Dragon Gate can't protect you. Come back to the Spirit Hall Academy with me. I can only feel at ease if you're in the Spirit Empire. When Xu Han met the leader of the Delongmen just now, he discovered that the Delongmen was afraid that others would know that Yi Gai was in their Delongmen. They were also afraid of the power of the Holy Spirit Church and were very cautious. And if the Holy Spirit Church made a move on the Delongmen would probably not escape the same fate as the Pingfen League. So even the Delongmen did not dare to keep Yi Gai for long. Yi Gai also understood the current situation. The only way out was to go to the Wuhun Palace Academy of the Wuhun Empire. Now that the Pingfen League has been destroyed, she has no place to belong in the Sunday and Moon Empire. Going with Xu Han is the best destination. Xu Han, I will go back to the Wuhun Palace Academy with you. Yi Gai agreed to go to the Spirit Hall Academy with Xu Han to practice. The next day they were ready to set off for Spirit City. The next day, early in the morning, Jin Changfen, the Dean of the Core Academy of the Spirit Hall, and Jutian and other titled Douluo also came to the Earth Dragon Gate, intending to tell Xu Han and Yi Gai about the plan to lure the Holy Spirit Church. The Spirit Hall will still seek Yi Gai's consent. Jin Changfen said bluntly, Yi Gai, your spirit is a sacred angel, and you must be a thorn in the eyes of the group of evil soul masters. Once you show up, you will surely be hunted down by the group of evil soul masters. Now I want to tell you something, but it depends on your decision. We want to use you as bait to lure out the people at the Holy Spirit Church, and take this opportunity to capture some core figures of the Holy Spirit Church. We will do our best to ensure your safety. Of course, there are many unstable things, and your safety is still at risk. Are you willing? Yi Gai agreed without even the slightest hesitation. Senior, I'm willing. As long as we can lure out the people from the Holy Spirit Church and find this Holy Spirit Church and completely eradicate them, I will naturally be willing to use it as bait. Okay, that's settled. We will take you out of this city secretly and find a place for you to act alone. We will follow you secretly, but in order to prevent the risk of being noticed by the other party, we will not be too close to you. Once the bait is hooked, we will appear as soon as possible to protect you and catch them. Jin Changfen said seriously. Okay. Yi Gai nodded solemnly. Afterwards, after Yi Gai said goodbye to her bestie Nankikia, she followed Xu Han and the people from the Spirit Hall and left the city secretly. The reason for leaving the city quietly was to avoid being known by the people at the Holy Spirit Church that Yi Gai had been hiding here during this period of time, so as to avoid the Delongmen being wiped out by the Holy Spirit Church. A few hours later, Yi Gai appeared alone in another city and returned to the city where the Ordinary Alliance was located. Let her show up here. If the Holy Spirit Church is searching for Yi Gai on a large scale, then there must be people and spies from the Holy Spirit Church here, and as long as Yi Gai shows up, she will most likely be discovered. But after all, it is still daytime in the city, and Yi Gai's own strength is not weak, so it is impossible for the people at the Holy Spirit Church to act blatantly. Either wait until night, or wait until Yi Gai leaves the city. Jin Changfen asked Yi Gai to show up in the city for a while and then leave before dark. Ordinary Alliance, Alliance Leader, and everyone, I will definitely avenge you. Destroy the Holy Spirit Church. Yi Gai stood on a high place, silently looking at the Ordinary League, which was now dead and silent, from afar, with sadness and anger in her eyes. She turned and left, leaving the city as Jin Changfen said, and began to move towards the direction of the Wuhun Empire. Hehe, the Holy Angel Yi Gai, you finally show up. In the dark, an evil soul master was staring at Ye Gai's back with a sinister sneer on his face. He immediately disappeared to inform the elders stationed near the city. After the Ordinary League was destroyed, the Demon King, one of the 4 kings of the Holy Spirit Church, and the other 2 great priests went back first. Only 7 elders at the level of titled Douluo were left to search for Ye Gai. To kill Ye Gai, there was no need for a strong man at the level of king to do it himself. When the news reached the ears of the 7 elders of the Holy Spirit Church, the 7 titled Douluo immediately led the way, preparing to intercept and kill Ye Gai on the way to the suburbs. Chapter 649. The bait is taken. The 9 titles of the Spirit Hall destroy the 7 titled Douluo at the Holy Spirit cult. The 8 elders of the Holy Spirit Church, except for the one who was killed by the Ordinary Alliance, who was level 89, the other 7 were all titled Douluo between level 91 and 94. Only one was a level 95 expert, and not all of them were evil spirit masters. They didn't know that the Spirit Hall had sent nearly 10 titled Douluo to secretly protect Ye Gai. In addition to Jin Changfen, the Dean of the Core Academy of the Spirit Hall at level 97, there were 2 titled Douluo at level 95, and 6 titled experts from level 92 to level 94. A total of 9 titled Douluo. 9 against 7. Once the 7 elders of the Holy Spirit Church took action, they would definitely fall into the trap of the Spirit Hall. At night, more than 8 o'clock. It was already dark, and Ye Gai walked alone on a mountain road, moving quickly towards the direction of the Spirit Empire. Shu Han and the people at the Spirit Hall followed far behind him, always paying attention to every move around them. Suddenly, a layer of black fog swept across the road in front of Ye Gai. The people at the Holy Spirit Church finally came. Wow, ha 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 ha. Little girl, where are you going? Soon, many strange laughs came from the black fog, and the figures of the 7 Holy Spirit Church titled Douluo appeared in front. The people at the Holy Spirit Church have appeared, hurry up. Move. Jin Changfen immediately gave orders in the distance, leading the people at the Spirit Hall to rush over. At this moment, Ye Gai looked at them angrily. Holy Spirit Church. It was you who destroyed the Ordinary League. He, who told you that the Ordinary League is so nosy and has been interfering in the affairs of our Holy Spirit Church? How can we not destroy you? Look at the direction you were going to escape to the Spirit Empire. What a pity. You can't get away. Your Holy Angel Spirit is a threat to our Holy Spirit Church. It will be bad if you grow up. So, little beauty, please die, kill her for me. Yes. One of the elders waved his hand, and a large number of Holy Spirit Church believers around were ready to take action. Wait. Can you let me die knowingly before you attack? Ye Gai shouted immediately, trying to delay time. Wait a minute. The elder raised his hand to signal to stop the attack, then looked at Ye Gai with a smile and said, Girl, don't play tricks on me here, you can't escape. Go ahead, I'll let you die knowingly. Ye Gai took a deep breath, pretended to be breathing for a few seconds, and then slowly said, I want to know, you. Before Ye Gai finished speaking, the faces of the titled Douluo on the opposite side suddenly changed. Ye Gai also showed a hint of sneer at the corner of her mouth. These few seconds could actually determine her life or death. Unfortunately, the other party did not choose to attack immediately after appearing. You are finished. The people at the Holy Spirit Church have already sensed that there are many terrifying auras approaching rapidly. Not good. There's someone behind her. This damn girl is stalling for time. Quick. Kill her first. Go. The 7 elders of the Holy Spirit Church sensed the crisis and did not hesitate. At that moment, the 7 of them rushed to Ye Gai at the first time. The surrounding Holy Spirit Church members also surrounded him at the same time. They wanted to get rid of Ye Gai before the people from the Spirit Hall dared to come. But it was too late. The 9 titled Douluo at the Spirit Hall almost rushed to kill him at the same time. 2 of them protected Ye Gai, and the other 7 attacked the other 7 titled Douluo in a 7-on-7 manner. Evil disciple of the Holy Spirit Church. Die. Bang. Boom boom boom. Puff. One of the elders of the Holy Spirit Church was severely injured by the 97th level Jin Changfen on the spot. He spit out a mouthful of blood and fell to the ground. Golden Crocodile King. Damn it, they are actually from the Spirit Hall. When did the Spirit Hall target us? Damn it. We fell into a trap. The Holy Spirit Church elders, who were originally very arrogant, now had a little fear on their faces. The Holy Spirit Church is so powerful that they are not afraid of even the royal family of the Sun and Moon Empire, but the only thing that is feared on this continent is the Spirit Empire and the Spirit Hall. The Spirit Hall is the most powerful Soul Master force, among which there are too many titled low-level masters and countless masters. The most important thing is the six-winged angel clan of the Spirit Hall. The six-winged angels, like the god-level spirits of the holy angels, have absolute suppression power over their evil soul masters. And they can recognize at first sight that the titled Douluo in front of them is from the Spirit Hall, precisely because of Jin Chengfeng's golden crocodile king spirit. This spirit is also one of the imaginations of the Spirit Hall. Let's go. We are not their opponents, retrieve quickly. They also felt that Jin Chengfeng's strength was far above theirs. Even if the four of them perceived together, it would be difficult to kill the 97th level Jin Chengfeng. In addition, there were 8 titled Douluos from the Spirit Hall present, so they had no chance of winning. Compared to killing Ye Gai, it was more important for them to stay alive. Without a trace of fighting spirit, these Holy Spirit Church members wanted to escape. Retreat. Oh, want to leave? That's not that easy. Stop them. Jin Chengfeng sneered and was the first to take action. 8th soul skill, Golden Crocodile Roar. Roar. Ah. The terrifying roar, with an extremely terrifying sound wave force, restricted everyone's mobility on the spot. Kill. The 9 titled Douluos from the Spirit Hall were very brave and rushed up directly, attacking the 7 elders of the Holy Spirit Church. The rest of the Spirit Hall's soul masters also fought with other believers of the Holy Spirit Church. Shu Han and Ye Gai also fought in the battle and joined forces to kill the enemy. Die. Ye Gai pierced an evil spirit master's heart with his sword, while Shu Han's sword pierced the other's back at the same time. Puff. The 2 men raised their swords at the same time, and cooperated tacitly to kill the enemy. It was almost a complete suppression. This group of people from the Holy Spirit Church was not the hands of the Spirit Hall at all. The people began to be killed one by one. After a fierce battle. In the end, most of the Holy Spirit Church's followers were killed, and more than 10 followers were captured by the Spirit Hall. 2 of the 7 elders of the Holy Spirit Church were killed, 2 were captured, and 3 escaped. The Spirit Hall won a great victory in this battle. However, some people were also killed and injured. Among the 9 titled Douluo, 2 were seriously injured and 3 were slightly injured. Don't chase them. You may not be able to catch up with them. These people are enough for us to understand the Holy Spirit Church. Jin Chengfeng stopped chasing the 3 titled Douluo who escaped from the Holy Spirit Church. Spirit Hall. We won't say anything. The 2 captured elders said viciously, very tough. Jin Chengfeng sneered. Hectares, you are very stubborn, huh? I'll see how stubborn you can be when I take you back to the Spirit Hall. Chapter 650 Ye Gai joins the Spirit Hall Academy, Shu Han's determination to become stronger. Let's go. Take them back. Let's go, Gai. I think the matter about the Holy Spirit Church will soon be clear. Yes. Shu Han and Ye Gai looked at each other, interlocked their fingers, and followed the team to leave. From now on, Shu Han is Ye Gai's only support. The 2 followed the team of the Spirit Hall and quickly returned to the Spirit Empire, Spirit City. A few days later, the Spirit Hall escorted 2 titled Douluo of the Holy Spirit Church and more than a dozen believers back to Spirit City and threw them into the dungeon of the Spirit Hall. They began to torture and interrogate the things that the Spirit Hall wanted to know. In the end, under the torture and interrogation of the Spirit Hall, these people finally confessed. The Spirit Hall finally learned that the Holy Spirit Church had 1 emperor, 2 emperors, 4 heavenly kings, 12 priests, and 8 elders, a terrifying force with more than 20 titled low-level strongmen, and more than 10,000 believers. They also found out where the headquarters of the Holy Spirit Church was. However, it is still unknown who the Holy Spirit Church is colluding with in the royal family of the Sun Moon Empire. Because even the 8 elders of the Holy Spirit Church do not know about this relationship. Only the high-level people above the level of the 4 heavenly kings know the connection. But the Spirit Hall has roughly guessed based on the information they have, but there is no solid evidence. Now that they know where the headquarters of the Holy Spirit Church is, the Spirit Hall immediately sent people there, but as they expected, the Holy Spirit Church had already moved its headquarters and no one knew where it was hidden. The Spirit Hall can only use the existing clues and the controlled Holy Spirit Church personnel to see if they can fish out the latest headquarters of the Holy Spirit Church and then catch them all in one net. At this moment, the Holy Spirit Church has moved its headquarters to the coastal area west of the Sun Moon Empire, in an uninhabited mountain range. Damn it. When did the Spirit Hall get involved? At this moment, the leader of the Holy Spirit Church, Lei Ting, was furious, with a gloomy and ugly face. The rest of the people also looked unhappy and gloomy. Master, I've been targeted by the Spirit Hall. It's better not to take any action for the time being. Let's stay out of the spotlight for a while. Yes, Master. Well, that's the only way, the Holy Spirit Church Master said in a deep voice. He clenched his fists tightly. Spirit Hall. You have killed 4 elders and 4 titled Douluo of our Holy Spirit Church. We will definitely pay for this. One day, our Holy Spirit Church will unite with the Sunday and Moon Empire to completely eradicate them from this continent. The Holy Spirit Church will be the most powerful soul master force on this continent. We will let the true holy light shine on the earth and let the Holy Spirit descend on the world. Many days later. Back to the Spirit Empire, Ye Gai has also joined the Spirit Hall Academy. Ye Gai's cultivation has long reached the Soul King realm, and is even close to the Soul Emperor. Such a genius is naturally recruited by the Spirit Hall Academy to become an inner courtyard student, but in fact, the inner courtyard is just a way for Ye Gai to get by. At most, he will be promoted to the core courtyard after practicing in the inner courtyard for a few years. Good. Now the Spirit Hall has launched a comprehensive operation against evil spirit masters. Our goal now is to practice hard and become stronger, so that we can participate in the Spirit Hall's operation to destroy the Holy Spirit Church and personally avenge the Ordinary League. Shu Han said. Well, Shu Han, let's work together. Ye Gai's eyes were extremely firm. This time, during the Holy Spirit Church's operation to destroy the Ordinary League, it was fortunate that Ye Gai was no longer in the League and was on a mission outside, otherwise, Ye Gai would have suffered misfortune. This experience made Shu Han more afraid and worried than ever before. He couldn't imagine if Ye Gai really encountered an accident, whether he could withstand such a heavy blow. He understood that everything was because his strength was too weak. Only with a strong enough force could he protect his beloved and the existence he wanted to protect. After returning, Shu Han had never wanted to become stronger as much as he did at this moment. Become stronger. Become stronger. In the next period of time, Shu Han began to sprint for the soul power level with all his strength. He turned down the courses that could be turned down in the inner courtyard and devoted himself to meditation and soul power training. Ye Gai also began to gradually come out of the pain of the destruction of the Ordinary League. A smile slowly appeared on her face. Her mood was getting better day by day, and she was not so sad every day. But this hatred did not fade in her heart at all, and she remembered it deeply in her heart. She turned hatred and sadness into motivation and worked hard to practice in the inner courtyard of the Wooden Hall Academy. Time flies. 10 months later. Shu Han's soul power has been cultivated from level 54 to the peak of level 57. In the Soul King realm, it can be upgraded by 3 levels in 10 months. This terrifying practice speed is very fast. And Ye Gai is particularly loved by the Wooden Hall because of his angelic spirit. In the end, he was favored by Qian Renxue, the descendant of the Qian family of the 6-winged angel clan, the great worshipper of the Wooden Hall, and was accepted as a direct disciple. Qian Renxue is over 100 years old and has never accepted a disciple. He is one of the current 99 level limit Douluo. Because of Qian Renxue, Ye Gai only practiced in the inner courtyard for 10 months before being promoted to the core courtyard. Shu Han was also promoted to the core courtyard. But if you want to become a student of the core academy, you must undergo a training arranged by the academy. As for what the test of the training is, you will know it when school starts. 1 month later. The Spirit Hall Academy opened again. Liu was already a 5th-year student in the outer academy. In another year, he would be able to enter the inner academy. Now Liu's strength has reached more than 40 levels. He has taken over Shu Han's position in the outer academy and has become the strongest student in the outer academy. In 4 years, Liu has grown from the weakest student to the strongest in the outer academy. Even many inner academy students are not Liu's opponents. Liu has gradually shown his genius and has also received much attention from the Spirit Hall. On this day, Shu Han came to the outer academy and had a party with Liu and Xiao Xiao. The 3 of them sat at a scenic spot in the outer academy, enjoying the breeze and chatting. Since Shu Han entered the inner academy, the number of times in time they met have become less and less. Everyone also has their own things to do and their own cultivation. Oh, Shu Han, we haven't even entered the inner courtyard yet, but you've already entered the core courtyard. The gap is really widening, and our status is getting bigger and bigger. Yes. By the time we enter the core courtyard, Chu Han, you'll have already graduated. Liu Yao and Xiao Xiao said helplessly. However, they were also naturally happy that Chu Han entered the core courtyard. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.